ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to SpawnCast episode 73, Evan?
Yep, 73.
73, all right. Working towards that 100 mark. Max is off tonight. He's at a party or something, I think. I don't really know otherwise than that. But yeah, so he'll be back with us next week. But we have actually someone filling in for him. Direct Feed Games, Nate is here with us. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Yes, you wanted specifically to come on to definitely talk about the Switch revision rumors.
Oh yes.
So yes, I said let's get him on here so we can talk about it because I'm sure you have quite a few things to say about it.
Definitely.
Very good, very good. And we of course have the usuals with us. I'll just go down the line as they are on my monitor. We got Sean, RGT. Yo. How's it going, man? How's it going?
Good.
Good to see. And then we got OJ, Player Essence. What's up, man?
I am here, and I'm wearing a Mario shirt.
Nice. I'm wearing an Aquaman shirt. So we're good. Then we got Evan, of course. Evan back from his LAN party, back from his 5 days away from everyone, I guess, outside of Dota 2. Is Dota 2?
Everything, Joe. I was playing everything over there.
Did you take your Switch with you too? I didn't know if that was like a thing at LAN parties.
Took the Switch. We actually played a lot of Mario Tennis and everything over there. It was pretty awesome.
Did it work like how people say it does? Did anyone else there have a Switch too?
Yeah, we did twos. We basically did twos. Two switches, just 2v2, rotating whoever lost, that kind of thing. Classic stuff.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's neat. I always picture that it would work well, but I've never actually attempted it because that means I have to go outside my house. So
yeah,
I'm not doing that. Wishbone, I did not fry my PS4 Pro with liquid metal. Okay. But I did put nail polish on my Xbox. So there you go. That's why I'm over here and not over at the counter over there. Because it's covered in PlayStation 4 and Xbox One X parts. So there you go. Evan, I did get liquid metal. I don't know if you heard that.
Nah,
put it on my Xbox One X and my PS4 Pro. Yes, you have to put nail polish on the chip around it so it doesn't short it out because it's liquid metal. So I had to put that on there, and then I have that put down, and it's supposed to help with like the PS4 Pro is loud. If anybody has a PS4 Pro out there, you know what I'm talking about. If you start playing God of War, it gets so loud, it's like it sounds like it's gonna take off.
Yeah, one of my buddies brought his PS4 to the LAN party. That thing was so goddamn loud. We had 4 computers in the room. That was the only thing we could hear.
Well, I'm gonna get you a PS4, Evan. Probably this one. So I'm trying to get that Spider-Man one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I need that Spider-Man one. So when I do that, I'll probably just give you this one. I'll take the thermocoupler off. It's still hanging out of it right now. we'll do that. Any thoughts on Devolver Digital's Greece and only announced for PC Switch? Which game is Devolver Digital doing for PC and Switch? OJ, can you help me out with that one?
Gris is an exploration-based game with light platforming and puzzle solving, but there aren't any dangers or fail states.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
I was gonna say thanks to Devolver Digital PR.
No problem. Don't need my help at all. I'm useless.
We were talking about this before we went on air with how many games are popping up. Thanks EJ79 by the way. Only announced for PC Switch. Hoping to hear more at Nindies, but not holding my breath. The Nindies coming up, from what I understand, is actually going to have larger announcements than I think people realize. So,
yeah, they said themselves multiple unannounced games.
Yes, you will see. I think you will see Windjammers 2 there again because I think they're going to put another like you'll see some games I think from that UK one. Just hey, look, here it is, real quick, but. There's some stuff that I don't think people are expecting. I think that are going to get at least shown there. I don't know if there'll be release dates for them, but when I saw Windjammers 2, which we'll talk about that, Evan, don't worry. I was a little shocked, to be honest. But I do think you're seeing more of that, by the way. PC Switch for indies because the Switch is easy to sell your indie game on right now. So get it out first on that. Like I think you're going to see a lot of people push for that, and then PC, of course, because that's usually what they develop these things on. So why wouldn't you just put it on that? But you're gonna see that I think with a lot of indie games as we go forward here. So what's everyone been playing?
Man, that bullshit Morphe's Law game. Get out of here.
Dude, I think that's true, man. Is it they put a patch out to fix it? Is it better?
I've already archived it.
I've kind of moved on. Yeah,
The
I was
overall
like,
game's not fun, right? Because I remember when it was first announced, I told you guys it wasn't going to be that great. I've been watching beta footage.
No,
for
the
it.
game itself, the idea is good. It's just so laggy online. Like if you play offline against bots, it was fine. Like I was like, okay, this is cool and all. But once I jump online, dude, people are teleporting. When you jump, it's like good luck because you're all over the place.
So that's a good thing though. If the only problem or what you see is like the major problem is lag, that can be fixed.
I also can't really tell if I'm winning or not most times.
It's definitely a game that if it came out, like I said in my video, if this game came out when between March and maybe August of 2017, it would definitely have a place on there. But with free to play games like Paladins and Fortnite, with shit like Splatoon 2 and Doom, it's unique. But I feel like the execution is just lacking, and there's not many levels and all sorts of stuff. It feels like the company who I don't know the company name that was making it. I feel like the company was just like they got to a point where they were like, we can't wait any longer for this to go out. Let's just put it out and then we can patch it as we go along. And for like $20, it's like, yeah, you got to come a little stronger than this, man.
Who did? I'm supposed to know who did that because they sent me a heads up for it and the code before it all went down. I feel like I should at least know who. Cosmoscope.
I mean, I just bought the shit.
Thanks, Cosmoscope.
Yeah, thanks.
I had been talking to them on Twitter though. I actually even sent them a joking tweet like, "Oh, send me the PR statement when you're good." They had been talking to me. They're good people. It's just I wish the game was better.
Yeah, I mean
that's all. I hope they fixed it. I feel like that might be a game, Sean, that we look at and then we go back in like 6 months and we say, okay, at least it's better. You know,
I don't do that though. Like if I don't like the game when I first play it within the first few days, like I don't go back.
I did that with Dead Cells actually. When Dead Cells first dropped on Steam, it really wasn't that good. And now it's like a million times better. They really did a lot of work to that game.
I don't have time for shit like that.
That's fair.
Like I got, I've been playing Blade Strangers. I've been playing Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
You can't talk about any of those.
No, I can't. And I was this morning, I was taking a dump and like someone's beating on my door and it was the mailman. And I'm like, what's up? He was like, package from Japan. And I'm like, what? And evidently, like, because I don't sleep really and stuff like that. I bought something in my sleep and it came in today. I haven't played it yet. And I don't know why I bought it because I actually have the American version of this, but I bought Dracula X, the Super Famicom version for like $65. And I don't really know why, but it's here.
Okay. All right. Sure. Why not?
Why not?
Johnny R says, oof, that explains a good chunk of today. Yes. Ryu Cage says, okay. OJ's excited for this expansion. Swimsuit Pyra worth every penny of expansion pass. Is that that's a skin in that game, I assume?
Yeah, it's like just different outfits you can get for your Xenoblade characters. I actually got back into Xenoblade Chronicles. I streamed it today. I've been playing it off stream as well. It's about as refined as it's gonna get in terms of the game. Yeah. It's fun. It's really fun to play. It's even better at this point. All the things that they've added in. So I've been playing that. Really, that's been taking.
Have they done any technical patches or anything to it?
I don't know if they have or not. But it seems like it runs better in handheld mode than when it did. It seems like the resolution's better or it looks sharper. But there's no way. I'm not Digital Foundry.
Yeah,
so
I look through like their patch notes. And I never see anything like that describes it. But sometimes those are just like in the background things. I wasn't sure if they've done anything.
From what I can see, like I remember like when I first played the game and like I went into like handheld mode or whatever, I was like, oh man, this is noticeable like in everything. But now when I play it in handheld mode and I go to the same spots, it's like, yeah, it's still not as good as docked. But it still looks things like I think they've smoothed things out a bit better. I know the frame rate's definitely gotten better, the average frame rate, and things like that. So I know that they've made some stuff. They just haven't set it in the patch notes. So I know that it's definitely improved from day one when it comes to just like the frame rate for sure. So
Nick's Lycos says, I know there is no such thing as port begging, but do you guys think that we will ever get a Xenoblade Chronicles HD on the Switch? No. I would like to. That'd be nice. I mean, when it came out back on the Wii, it was a GameStop exclusive and
the original. Yeah, I mean, there's always a chance that they do some type of. I mean, who would have thought that we would have got Xenoblade Chronicles 3D?
Yeah. So, I think there's. I mean, they moved on to a new project. Monolith did, right?
They have moved on. Yeah, they've moved on. But then again, you also have to realize that like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 wasn't even made with half of their staff. It was made with 40 of their staff members. So could they put together some type of small team and say, okay, let's just upgrade Xenoblade Chronicles or Xenoblade Chronicles S? Absolutely. I think they can take like 30 people or something like that and do it.
That's what I want is Xenoblade Chronicles X to get a remaster, because that game, it was put on a Doom system. It was so good, but there was obviously limitations of the Wii U, like the pop-up and the load times and shit like that. Like, that's a game I would much rather see that than a lot of games that are coming to the Switch. Like, that game was just, I love that game.
It needs some work. It would have, because of the Wii U gamepad, they'd have to really kind of, because like there's like that game, if you're using a Pro controller, it becomes a 2-controller game.
Right.
Like there's no, you can't avoid it. Like it becomes like you have to have the Wii U gamepad at some point to do certain things. So they'd have to take that functionality, which I don't think would be hard for any solid programmer or developer, but it wouldn't just, I don't think it'd be as one-to-one as like, let's say like a Mario Kart 8.
It'd be more work than the first one though, basically.
Absolutely. It'd be more work because of what they have to do with that and some of the integration with the gamepad. But I mean, is it possible? Yeah, they've already said that Xenoblade Chronicles X that they'd like to do it.
Right.
So that's something they said that they have mentioned that.
Will McConnell does say desperate for a release date for Hawaii Shakedown and Moonlighter. Super Mario Party looks like Return to Glory. I really do want a Hawaii Shakedown release date, absolutely. So we'll see where that goes. Will we're going to talk about the Nindies though a little later, so we'll go over some of that. What else, guys? Anything else been playing?
I played We Happy Few. Did I say that last week or not?
No, but Evan played it as well.
Yeah, I would play We Happy Few just a little bit more on the Xbox One X. Apparently, it runs at native 4K, which it looks sharp. Looks sharp.
Wow, it doesn't. It's not checkerboard. It's all native, huh?
Yeah, apparently, but on Xbox One X, not on PS4 Pro.
Yeah. That's probably checkerboard there. And weak PS4 Pro. No, sorry, I need you to live so I can play Spider-Man.
Are we gonna? Okay, so I played some more We Happy Few. I thought it's cool. It's a nice cool little game. I'm not sure if it's worth, like, I mean, you don't need to get it right now. It's probably gonna be one of those like games with gold type of deals, where you get it, like you just get it. But if you're looking for something kind of different,
I think you will see that go to possibly even Game Pass. Microsoft owns that studio now. So.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like you can wait for that, but I mean, it does look pretty sharp with the Xbox One X. Okay. So if you have that, check it out. If you want to.
I caught somebody on Twitter that was posting, and they got to the end and they were crying at the end. So I don't really know. There must be some crazy stuff happening towards the end of the game. So I'm at the. I can see somebody getting over that style of game and what they do. Yeah, definitely. It tries to hit you right there in the feels. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Evan, how far into We Happy Few did you get? I know you did the LAN party, so that kind of set you back. You guys doing all multiplayer.
I'm probably only a few levels into it.
Okay.
I kind of fell out of it a bit because I've gone back into like the competitive side of things with watching some of the Capcom Cup, the preliminary stuff for it. I've been playing Street Fighter with my friends. TI's been on, so I've been watching that. Last round's actually going on right now, so hoping that'll be fun. But with We Happy Few, it was definitely. I wish we had the code earlier because I really hated that I played the alpha build.
You played the alpha build,
and no one told us. So that was super annoying because when I finally got the code and I finally got to play it, that game was excellent for what it was. The exploration, how the randomly generated.
How great were those instructions, by the way? to unlock the full version ahead of time. It was weird. You had like rename stuff on the Steam application and everything.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. People were saying it was fun. Some people didn't like it, but it was kind of hit or miss. But I think it just depends on how into like the idea of it you were. The idea was cool. Like there's a lot of creativity in that studio. So I hope now that they're kind of funded and backed by Microsoft, and there's less pressure on we got to get this game out right now so we can sell it. I hope that means that that they can kind of sit back, spend time, and everything, get it done. So that'd be cool. What about Nate? What have you been playing, man?
I've mostly been playing things like Blade Strangers and which I guess can't talk about Blade Strangers
Tuesday
for some reason.
A lot of stuff is dropping on Tuesday, guys. So you're gonna see videos everywhere for a lot of people on a lot of games right now. So Blade Strangers, okay, cool.
Well, that's the thing with Blade Strangers. Like we could show gameplay footage of just versus mode. We can't show like online. I get why we can't show like the campaign, but I mean it's a fighting game. Why can't we show the online or to tutorials or the mission mode. I mean, you're fighting as Isaac against the girl from Code of Princess. It's not like it's not some amazing revolutionary new 2D fighter.
Unless maybe they have like a patch set up for day one or something. I don't know. It's weird that they would. That is weird. It's always weird when companies are like, you can show this, this, and this, but not like this random thing over here. You know,
I think they're trying to be sensitive to spoilers. They, you know, maybe that's what it is. Some people get crazy about spoilers. Man. I remember, I think I shut off like the beginning thing in like Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild one, like the very beginning, like first boss or something. I'd be like, wow, spoilers. So
but the thing of it is, it's like as much as I've played Blade Strangers, I haven't encountered anything in the game that I didn't know about. Like,
there's nothing to spoil. Like, oh, this is the special move for Isaac. Okay, well, I could show that in the versus mode footage I'm showing. Like, what can I spoil for you in a fighting game?
Yeah, it's not like there's like a character you didn't know about or something. Like,
yeah, it's not like Mario is a secret hidden character in the game.
Or is he?
Or is he? That's what I was just about to say. That. Or is he?
Did you get your portable capture yet, Nate?
Yes, I did. I'm just waiting for a good game to actually use it on. Like, I was thinking, oh, Blade Strangers, and I'm playing. I'm like, well, this game, it looks like, you know what it does. It's pixelated as hell. And it's gonna look like that whether it's in handheld or on the TV.
You're looking for like more of like a 3D open world kind of type. You're looking for something that just pushes the system a little bit.
Yeah, I want to do something like FIFA, NBA, things like that, where people will actually see the difference between the two, or if they might have concerns that, oh, it's 60 frames a second docked, but it's maybe, you know, it might be fluctuating in handheld. So then I can actually show that with that footage.
Oh, you know what you could do? Dragon Quest Builders. Maybe. Because that game is 60 docked and then 30 handheld.
I could try that.
Okay.
Like, I was gonna try Dragon Ball Xenoverse, but then I'm like, the game's a year old.
What about you're gonna do Fighters when that comes out? Grab that and see what the portable looks like on that.
Yeah, I might do like SNK Heroines and
That'd be cool.
You know, it's basically just go release to release, and
that's a cool little thing to have, though. I like that's neat. You have to let me know how that is. I might actually look into just getting one, just so like if I'm doing gameplay for because what I do now is I literally take my camera and I just point it at the system. What else can I do? You know. So if it works well and it's easy and stuff, I might actually grab one. But now I think about it, I have to get a whole nother Switch. So I'm trying to think of how I would just move my stuff over, unless I just have to buy a whole nother copy of the game and have it like on both systems, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you get like the review code, you can still have your main account on the system. You just have to deactivate it on one Switch, and then you just log into the eShop. Yeah, and then the system will activate. You just won't have like your saves back and forth. So.
Okay, yeah, because I know like I think it's PS4. I think the PS3 is when I first got annoyed about that situation. Eventually, they made it so you could activate your account on 2 different systems, and I think the PS4 has that as well, and the Xbox. So maybe Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo's Online is coming up, so you never know. Maybe they could. Who knows? Maybe they're going to flip a switch and everything's going to change. I don't know. We'll see. So okay, cool. I did play apparently I'm the only one here who played it, which is interesting. I was hoping someone else did so I could talk to somebody about it. I did talk to someone about it though before. The Messenger. I can't talk about it until Tuesday, which is a shame because I really want to talk about this game. So come see me on Tuesday and I'll talk about The Messenger. But I think a lot of people were talking about it a lot online, hoping that it would be good. And I can't say yes or no, but just come watch the video, okay? Because I'm going to try not to spoil it, but I'll at least talk about it and everything. And it's going to be really fun. Art Attack, I am also excited for Grandia 1 and 2. We're going to talk about that as well, because Gamescom hit us with a bunch of stuff. Let's go through this. I think that's everything that we've mostly played, other than Messenger. I played some Halo 5, getting ready for the Master Chief Collection because that is going to Game Pass, which everyone should download because it's going to be awesome. I went back and
played Cosmic Star Heroine too. I just want to throw it in there. I played that game too.
Yep, I'm almost done that game. I actually like it a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
It's kind of like Chrono Trigger, right? It gets a Chrono Trigger.
But you can't power level in the game.
Yeah, no, they kind of set that up. You know, they kind of have predetermined battles, kind of.
I hate that.
how far are you in it though?
I just beat the first real area boss, not the rescue mission at the beginning. Beat that, then the where you go to the next area. I beat that boss. I beat that one, so
okay. When you get a bit further in, you're gonna get to the point where you actually have a base and everything.
Okay.
It actually changes quite a bit when you get to that point.
Yeah, the game seems cool. The game is cool. It's definitely worth. I think there's like a little pre-order discount, or there's a eShop discount right now. So
it takes on a bit of suikoden. You're gonna see when you get to that base part. It's kind of neat. That had to go on hold a bit for the messenger. I've been playing that for the past like 3 days. So we'll be talking about that one though. Cosmar Heron's good though. I liked it. I did a video on it. I recommend buying it if you like kind of that Chrono Trigger style art style and kind of that gameplay.
It looks dead on like Chrono Trigger, actually. It literally looks like they're like, oh yeah, this is like.
If you go back and read, they said they're like, we took inspiration from Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VII.
It looks just like Chrono. It looks like they're it doesn't look like as in like the actual like characters don't look like that, but the art, like everything, like how everything is set up. You see the enemies and then it goes seamlessly into the battle. It's very Chrono Trigger-ish, you know.
Yes, I would check that out. So we went through that. Let's talk about the Nintendo Switch revision rumors. I know Nate specifically sent me a message like, "You talking about the Switch revision rumors?"
I'm gonna go get my popcorn real quick. I'll be right back. All right, you guys go ahead. Get your popcorn ready.
Get some sauce for that popcorn.
And then we'll be talking about the Nindies stuff, and then possibly anything else coming up. So since I know the No watches SpawnCast, you know, if you want to, I guess Nate's here, so if you want to, you know, get the recording software ready, we're fine. I'm just kidding. But I know the No will occasionally watch us here because they picked out Super Metal Dave's thing with Metroid, and he was right. So there you go. I'll give him that.
Oh God, that top. Oh, the problem with the Metroid thing is that weeks before he ever mentioned it, there was talk on forums and Twitter and Reddit and everywhere saying there'll be 2 Metroids at E3, and then he says it, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's right." Yeah, so we're like 1,400 other people.
I like this.
Switch revision rumors. It was Marcus Sellers put out a tweet. A lot of people screenshotted it, but essentially it's supposed to be a system that upscales to 4K, not necessarily renders 4K, but scales to 4K, which that could honestly, it could be as much as Netflix, which the Tegra can technically do 4K Netflix. That wouldn't be too much of an issue. 4K games, the Xbox One X pushes 6 teraflops, and we were amazed that something like We Happy Few was native, right? We were just talking about that. That 128 gigabytes of onboard storage, which that one threw me off. That's very expensive to do that. Go look up what an iPhone costs for 128 gigabytes. And he said early 2019, and he said it would only play certain games, right? Like certain games will only work on that, but all Nintendo games will work on it. So, is anybody who wanted to put out opinions or any thoughts on this?
For undisclosed reasons, I have no opinion on this.
For undisclosed reasons? What?
For undisclosed reasons, I think that I have no opinion. No. His other tweet that he made, he took down the tweet and then he was like, for undisclosed reasons.
Yeah, for undisclosed reasons, I removed this tweet, but it had nothing to do with IGN telling me it was bullshit.
Nothing to do with Pierre Snyder
saying. Yeah, that's Pierre Snyder. I was like, man, you know what's bad if he comes on Twitter putting you on blast. He's usually a pretty nice guy. I was like, man, that caught him.
We like break down the rumor. Just look at it logically. Hey, it went from it's gonna do 4K, and then you had Super Metal Dave and Review Tech be like, well, he never said render. He just said it would upscale to it. Okay, so that's something the current Tegra in the system could do. So there's no revision of the internal hardware. Oh, you're going to get more storage. Why? Why is Nintendo going to raise the price of the hardware to give you more storage when you can buy an SD card for next to nothing?
Yeah.
And it's going to get Resident Evil 2 Remake.
That's an interesting
one.
Is
that another thing?
Is that another thing?
From sellers. He'll be like, oh, this is Resident Evil 2 Remake. And all these things the Switch can't have right now.
That's an interesting one. Resident Evil 2. That's a weird one to kind of grab and say. I do want to tell everybody who's talking about this in the chat. a Nintendo Switch revision will eventually happen. Everybody knows that, right?
Yeah, and
someday, yeah.
And you know what? It's going to be something that's probably cheaper than the one that's on the market right now. Why the fuck? All right, that's it. I have to do this. Why the fuck would Nintendo segment your market by making a stronger Nintendo Switch that's going? Okay, so you're going to make a Nintendo Switch that essentially because there's no way in fuck it's going to be $300 because it still has to be portable. So let's say
they described like a $400 to $450 system
because that's really smart, because you want something that is incrementally better than what you have on the market now, that developers could potentially use to put their third-party games on there, although they wouldn't be able to tap into the 20 million plus that are already invested in the Nintendo Switch right now. So, you're going to put that up against the PS4 and the PS5 and the Xbox One 2, whatever the fuck they're going to call it, that's coming out in like a year to 2 years, that's going to be announced. Like it would literally be suicide. Nintendo needs to be looking at something like the Switch Mini, something that doesn't have detachable Joy-Con, something that's in like the $150 to $200 price range, not a premium system right now. You could do a premium system down the road, but I don't think early 2019, really. So nobody has heard of this fucking thing. Nobody's heard anything about it, but it's going to come early 2019. When you say early 2019, that means what? January, February, March, April being the latest part of early 2019. So this unannounced system is just going to magically appear. It's going to cost you $400+ and people are going to rush out to get it because they just didn't just buy a Switch because of Smash Brothers and Pokemon. No. They were waiting for this magical system from Neverland. And I don't have a problem with Marcus Sellers. I think he's wrong a lot of the time. I don't have a problem with Dave. I think he sometimes believes things that he hears too often, but I think they're both fine individuals. You know, we've done podcasts with Dave. I have no beef with Dave. I have no beef with Marcus Sellers. But if you say something and I think it's fucking stupid, I'm gonna call you out on it. Like, that's just how it is.
For the record, I'd buy that Switch.
I mean,
I would.
I would too, but the general market wouldn't.
No, I know. I can look at the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro sales and tell you that.
Yeah.
I some people might be kind of annoyed by it if they just randomly brought it out in like early 2019.
Yeah, I don't see Nintendo doing that.
I would buy it, but no.
Yeah, like to where it would like alienate the fans that already got the system. I can see them doing like we talk like a new Nintendo Switch. I can see them doing something like that to where they like make like a slight revision, maybe it gets a little bit more power or something like that. Better build quality, whatever. Like the new Nintendo 3DS was a sizable step from build quality, kind of just like overall above the regular 3DS,
Yeah.
So I can see them doing that. And like the 2DS XL is awesome, right? That's a great system.
That's a great system, yeah. I do wish the screen was better than the resolution it is, but for the price at $150 and it comes with a charger.
Oh, the resolution's horrible on the 3DS, but then again, it's somehow Nintendo's finessing people.
Dude, I mean, they're making money on that.
Yeah, to have that resolution in 2018, and people out there like, okay, we're gonna 84,000 units for last month in the US alone. Like the fact that people are still buying this thing, and even at 150 for that type of technology is incredible. I mean, I think it goes to the library. People just want to play great games at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? People just want, I just bought my daughter.
That might have one of the best libraries in games, probably next to like the PS, just because the PS2 has so many games. But like you have the 3DS and the DS library. It's obscene. Yes,
you have both of those, and that's crazy. That's what I said. Like I was thinking about what am I going to buy, and I was like, you know what, this 2DS, it was on sale. It was like they had like a sale. I got mine for 2DS XL for $89 because I had a gift card and there was a little bit of a sale that was recently, and I was just like, man, it's such a great value, man. Like people are gonna buy it for their kids and stuff. So yeah, man. I mean, I think they can do something like that. I think they're gonna really just kind of like more like a revision and like kind of just bump up the power and build quality,
Yeah, I had mentioned at one point that if they introduce a higher end one, they should probably also introduce a lower end one. And I was like, what can they just take out of the box? Because at one point they just took the charger out of the box, right? You don't get a charger with this thing. All right, thanks. I guess I'll buy a charger separately. But what if they just took like almost everything out and just sold just the regular tablet part? And just try to get stuff on shelves for like $150.
I think if they remove the dock and stuff, that would be fine. But I mean, if you're going to introduce a premium model, then just price drop the current thing to, what's it, $300, Remove the dock, sell it for $199, and have a premium for $350.
But I think it's the Joy-Con controllers that are keeping the price up. Those things, when I took them apart and I price checked them as those things are kind of expensive. Actually, I don't know if they make a ton of money on those.
And the main thing of it is like, yes, they could definitely do a more powerful Switch. Yes. And everything that they talked about, everything that Marcus Seller said in that rumor could potentially be true. But there is no way in hell that it will be coming out in early 2019. That's what kills the rumor for me. If he would have just posted that with no early 2019, sure, I'll take the bait on that. That sounds like something maybe feasible.
No, when he still said, "Oh, it will have third-party releases that the normal Switch, current Switch won't have," it made it bullshit because we still have to look at what technology is available. Yes. NVIDIA doesn't. Okay, let's say they throw an X2 in the Switch revision. It's a very small power increase. It would help with battery efficiency.
It would help with memory bandwidth for resolution also, though. They would actually get a little more out of that. So they like those games that are like 900p would probably be 1080p for example.
But we're still not going to get like a 900p Resident Evil 2 remake.
No, probably not.
That's not going to happen. So we're not going to get this. All of a sudden, this thing's going to compete with the PS4 or a PS5.
They would have to develop a custom chip.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, they're going to put those efforts into the next gen Switch. They're not going to do it for a mid-gen upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. Matches, I have not played Spider-Man yet, but I am patiently waiting and hoping for a review code. So I'll say that. I have talked to you, Insomniac, so send that email. So, I mean, does anyone here think that there's going to be a revision in 2019, or you think that's just too early? It has to be like 2020.
2019 is realistic. Typically, Nintendo's 24 to 30 months for a revision on their handheld.
Yeah, the DS Lite didn't take long. Like, if you go look at that, that took less than 2 years, I think.
The DS Lite's kind of a weird situation because the DS Fat was so hideous.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Like the DS was selling, but it wasn't selling phenomenally. They introduced the DS Lite with Nintendogs, brain training, and then it became the phenom that it did.
Yeah. It was ugly as hell. Like
it was really junky.
It was the ugly. I was like, I don't think I even want. I mean, I was like, it looks cool, but I was like, I don't know if I want that. I didn't get one until DS Lite came out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this, and then I had my girl buy it for me. So the DS Lite was so much like the screens were just so much brighter on that thing. Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, it was so much. It was just a massive boost. I don't
see. I kind of consider the DS because I know people have alluded to that the time frame between the DS and the DS Lite, but I kind of consider that to be the anomaly, not the standard.
But I thought the Game Boy Advance SP was pretty short too.
Yeah, I think that was about 20 months.
But everything with the Game Boy Advance was short. I mean, the lifespan of that system was short. Everything with that system was just short. Even though it was doing gangbusters, Nintendo was just like, screw this system. Like they just like
that was because originally the DS wasn't supposed to overtake it. It was just supposed to be something different, and then it started taking off, and they were like, "Oh, fuck the Game Boy."
I mean,
did Nintendo think that was gonna be like a Virtual Boy type of thing, to like we can just throw this aside and we still got the Game Boy Advance just in case, like if it failed, I'm thinking that they didn't think that it was going to be as big as it ended up being, because it was just I remember being like shocked when they announced that. I was like, well, what's wrong with Game Boy Advance? I was like, Game Boy Advance is cool. Like they had the SP, they were doing all that stuff, and it wasn't like I said, SP came out in what, 2000?
2000. Yeah, I think so.
2000, and then DS was 2004. So it was just like, that's it.
Okay. I will give you this, Sean. The Game Boy Pocket came out like 7 years after the brick Game Boy.
Right. And things like the new 3DS, I think was what, 3 years?
2014. So it originally came out 2011. So 3 years.
So I don't know if there's enough to say that there's a correlation. I mean, granted, they could do a revision. They could announce a revision in 2019. I don't necessarily think it would.
I really don't. Honestly, if it's just an option, I really don't mind. It really comes down to the games have to work across the board. Right?
Yes.
That's the big thing.
God, yes.
Like they could announce a $500 whatever, big awesome looking Switch and everything. It has a bigger screen. It's 1080. It's powerful and everything. But as long as the other Switch is still there and it plays all the same games, it's just an option at that point. And I don't really care then. It's great. I'll buy it because, I want it. But at that point, somebody can buy the cheaper Switch or they can buy the more expensive one. And maybe they do have that cheap one, Sean, that you're kind of alluding to. Switch Mini, if you will.
I just think from a technical standpoint, people might not like it. Like I understand there is a large quantity of people that like really want a more powerful Switch, but I think from a business standpoint and just sort of how Nintendo tends to work, you know, I think a Switch Mini is more feasible. I think one thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration when talking about the Switch is, yes, Nintendo does a lot of upgrades on their handhelds, but they never do shit with the fucking home consoles.
Yeah, you're right. This is weird. This is a weird time, right?
The expansion pack, and you had the 64 DD, but of course that never came out. So it's like it's kind of in Nintendo's hands. Like, what do they see this more as? Do they see it more as a home console, or do they see it more as a handheld? Because it's a hybrid, so it's a unique position for Nintendo.
Well, I feel like for the home consoles, though, they do tweak occasionally. I mean, the Wii dropped the GameCube attachment, the GameCube ability completely eventually, just to try to lower the price. So I mean, that is a path for the Switch, of course, the lowered money.
That so weird, was that like a weird Canada only thing where it didn't even have a disc drive? I remember that. I remember that system. It didn't even have a disc drive, and it came with Mario Kart.
Did it not have a disc drive? I know it was super tiny. There was a version of it.
The Wii Mini, yeah, it didn't have a disc drive, right?
It did. It didn't have the GameCube. It didn't have the GameCube ports.
Oh, it was like a little square, right?
Yeah, it didn't have. It had different. You can put stuff in there, but it didn't have the GameCube, and it didn't have internet capabilities either. So no internet capabilities at all, and no GameCube adapter things. But it was like $99.
Oh, I remember it was like super cheap,
and it came with Mario Kart. So essentially, it was like a Mario Kart device thingy, because like Mario Kart was so popular. You know, that's the best selling Mario Kart ever was Mario Kart Wii. And they just decided they basically just made like a little Mario Kart box. Essentially, nice. What it was. Just
you can go play that online, right? Oh wait,
no. Nintendo's. You know what Nintendo's reasoning was? They were like, oh, for your like vacation house. That's what they were saying. Like, oh, well, yeah, like a vacation house.
Because you don't have the internet at your vacation.
I was gonna say, what am I like the Himalayas or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's no internet, man. No, you got to just play with your family. It's like for the family, right there, man. You get all your remotes together, like play Wii Play, something like that. I'm not really sure, but
I feel like that's what they're saying. I feel like they're gonna have to create a hypothetical off of someone that doesn't exist, and then we'll see what the revision for the Switch is going to be based on.
And also, I would like to point out that that revision came out 7 years after the Wii.
Oh,
just saying. Okay.
When did they first remove the GameCube functionality from the standard way?
Ports were like 3 years later or something like that. I do remember that when we get those in, because it was a black Wii that was completely missing the GameCube ports on the top.
Yep.
They just like screwed that thing shut, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Will McConnell, Nintendo won't release a console. I think they hit the sweet spot. I could see a new system in 6 years. The next system will be a Switch in some form. Switch will be the new 3DS. That's something else I keep hearing about. What if Nintendo released just a standalone handheld system? That would be the Switch Mini, though. Well, they should just do that. Just design games across the entire... Like, the Switch, they've already kind of alluded to it a while ago, is that the Switch is like a family of systems. Like, the Switch we know now is not like the Switch, I think, is like a broad term for all these systems that are eventually going to show up. Because they said 20-year life, some crazy lifespan for it, right? Or something.
They said 20-year relationship with
with NVIDIA, and like they want the Switch to last 10 years or something like that. And I'm like, I feel like it's not necessarily just the Switch we know now. Much like how when the 3DS came out, the original 3DS, like we're talking about like all kinds of we never even talk about that 3DS anymore. The original one, just because it's changed so much. So I guess 2019 holiday would be like the earliest, I think, for any Switch.
I think 2019 holiday would be a realistic timing for Switch revision for two reasons. You have to get a price drop on the system, and you're going to have Pokemon Gen 8 coming in 2019 holiday, so you're going to want the price low because kids are going to want to buy a Switch. You're not going to buy them a $300 handheld. So you get the price to $249, $199. You need like that entry level Switch by then.
They need to figure that out, because they have that Switch that comes with the Joy-Con controllers, no charger, and it's still like $230, $225 in Japan. So they got to figure that out. It doesn't even come with a dock, I don't think.
No dock.
No dock. Yes, they got to. I'm telling, it's those Joy-Con controllers. They got to figure something out there with that. I don't know what, but like you said, Sean, maybe it's literally just like a little handheld that has like the no Joy-Con controllers with it. I don't know. That'd be tough. But I think that's what's holding them up because those things are $80 for the pair.
Right.
So that's got to be it. I know wholesale. I think wholesale are $69. I think, or no, they're $71 wholesale for the pair. Because I remember looking at a wholesale list before I left that store. Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. I would be okay with a revision. I'd be okay with a more powerful one. I would buy it. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. We'll see. Let's actually, before we jump into Gamescom thoughts, I looked into a little more about this. Did you guys see anything about the Xbox All Access rumors that are probably not going to be rumors by the end of next week?
What the free not free console?
It's the system that basically the Xbox One S or the X can be essentially financed through Microsoft, and it doesn't actually cost you any extra. It actually saves you about $20, but you have a payment of either $22 per month with an Xbox One S or $35 per month with the X, and that comes with Xbox Live for those 2 years and Game Pass for the entirety of 2 years, and you don't pay anything up front. So you kind of walk in, you get the system, you sign away, and you have the system. And then at the end of the 2 years, you own the system.
Reminds me of like the Walmart thing that they used to do back with the Xbox 360.
Yeah, that screwed up the used console market heavily because they look exactly the same.
They also, if you didn't pay, they would brick them.
Yep.
They just outright bricked them, I believe. So yeah, that was fun.
Is this really necessary? This type of thing, like for people, like I mean, if for a video game system, like I gotta understand for like a car.
That's interesting. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I mean, yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, my house mortgage. I'm not trying to pay $200,000 right off the bat, but Jesus, for like a $200 or like a $300 system. I mean, it's just you gotta get your priorities straight. Or you gotta save your money at this point. I mean,
the notion was always when we talked about it at the store, it was why not just put that money away and then wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, guys, we grew up with not a lot of money. We're everybody in my family, we're okay now. But when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, and we still bought. Like, we just wait, and you buy a Super Nintendo when you can afford a Super Nintendo. I mean, you didn't have these things. So, I mean, I can see why they're doing it. They did it before. I guess it kind of worked with the Xbox 360. I think Walmart did pretty good with that, but I don't know. It just seems like the more that I think about it, I'm just like, this seems kind of silly.
I think it's more so for like because the X, I guess, is $500 and then like $120 for 2 years of live. You wouldn't buy 2 years up front anyway. I guess that's more so it is because the X is $500, but the S you can get for as little as like what $250 for a 1 terabyte hard drive and everything.
Like if you can't afford the shit, like you probably got bigger problems going on in your life, you know, like if this is like such a luxury expense for you that you need to have this finance so you can have a nice almost layaway like monthly payment, you probably don't need to worry about video.
Yeah, but dude, you know how most of Americans work though. You know how we are here in America. It's like, I mean, people max out credit cards like crazy at Christmas time. This at least keeps them from putting it on their credit card and getting destroyed by interest.
I mean, like I said, it's an option. There's nothing wrong to be. There's nothing like I'm not mad at an option. That's great. I mean, some people might need it. You know what I'm saying? I think
I'm looking at it more so if this works out and they show up next generation with this. Like, what if their next Xbox comes out and instead of spend $500, you could do what they're doing here with like a pay-as-you-go thing, where it's like I don't know what happens if you don't pay though. Like,
yeah, I've always wondered what the downside is because we've always talked about how hardware usually isn't where the company makes the money; it's the software sales. What about the people who buy this and then after 1 month go, I don't want it anymore, and then just let it get bricked?
What happens? Do they? Yeah, I don't know. Do they send? They don't send it back. No one comes and gets it. I assume a creditor starts chasing you, but like,
it's gonna get repoed.
But is it gonna get repoed? I mean, what if they just hand it off to someone or sell it off to someone on Craigslist?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, what if you sell it off on Craigslist knowing full well at the end of the month it's getting bricked? And man, that's
there'll be people that do that too.
They'll wreck your credit though. Like that's the thing.
This happens with cell phones all the time, by the way. People on Craigslist, be careful buying cell phones on there. This is what people do with their cell phones though, right?
That's crazy. Who would buy a cell phone? That's insane. That's like inviting yourself to get screwed. Like,
but what I'm saying is, people go to like T-Mobile, Verizon stuff. How many people out there actually buy their phone outright, other than myself?
I mean, I did back in 2014. I bought my Samsung Galaxy S5 outright, but most people don't do that. You're right. Most people probably
most people believe that their Galaxy S8 is $100. Is what they believe. They really believe this. Ask Evan. People would come in, we'd repair iPhone screens. Somebody had like the brand new iPhone 5 when that first came out. They're pretty expensive. Screens were expensive. It was like $150 to repair their front screen. Like, well, it only cost me $100. I was like, I don't think you understand how much these actually are worth. And then they would go, they'd find out their phone was actually $800 because they had to have the 64 gigabyte model. And then they come back and they get it fixed. I don't think people realize how expensive their phones actually are. But that's what this is, right? It's tying it to an account that is your Xbox Live account, and you're essentially using it for your game console, right? So Caliber 6 just announced a new character. They posted about it on their Twitter. Thanks, Ike Dude. I'm gonna check that out for Gamescom later. Thank you. Thank you though for the 5 and the heads up on that. I'll go check it out. But yes, that's kind of what I'm looking at this as. It's kind of what people do with their cell phones now, and cell phones are weird because I guess you could consider it a luxury item to a degree. I mean, do you really need anything other than a flip phone that can text?
Okay. For our profession, I think we need I would think that we need a lot of people do need smartphones.
Like an S5 is like $100 online right now. Do you think it's better than like an S5?
I've had my phone. I got an iPhone when I redid my contract, and the only reason I got this phone was because they were like, "Oh, it's free."
There you go.
It's free with your contract. I was like, "Okay, whatever." Like I don't know. Like I think I spend a lot of time on my phone, like to the point of where, my little button is broken and, I can't use it, but it's time to
upgrade that phone. Sean, we went to, when we were at Long Island Retro, that hotel got you for $50 for a charger. They got you for $50 for that charger.
So here's a story. I'm trying to charge my phone at Long Island Retro Gaming Expo, and the phone won't fucking charge, and I'm getting so mad because I usually have to like jimmy it around a little bit to make it work, and I'm jimmying it. I tried every outlet in our room, and our room was a pretty big fucking room for a hotel room. I tried every
It was a very
outlet.
nice room, yes.
It was very nice. I tried every outlet, nothing worked. So we go down to the hotel lobby, and they have like a little gift store there, and nothing has a price on it. So they had like a cell phone charger there for iPhone. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's the charger. I'll just buy this. That thing was like, yeah, $40 or $50. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I ended up trying and using it, and it didn't work. I ended up having a bunch of like, cotton or like fluff and random shit in there. So I ordered a burger at dinner because we ate in the lobby, and it came with like a massive toothpick through the burger. So I took that out, and I was like, yep, gonna clean out my phone with that. And I just went in there and cleaned it, and it worked. But yeah, they got me. They got me good.
Yep. That hotel was way too nice for either of us to be there.
Yeah. I felt very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Basically, it looked like you had to wear a tuxedo to go there. It was a very nice hotel. But we didn't care. We still, wore T-shirts and video game stuff while we were there. Who cares?
Damn right.
We did have a lot of those people, though, that were around us that were like, the people who were like more important than everybody. Like we were waiting in line, Sean, and that person just walked right past us. Like I guess we were the people who carry stuff up to the room for them.
Right.
They just walked right past us, and Sean was like, "I'm gonna go up to this guy right now." I'm like, "Sean, hold on."
Piss me off, man.
That's a 65-year-old who's having their high school reunion. Okay, it's okay.
And there was a high school reunion from like 1960 something downstairs or some shit. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was great. They were like killing the bass too.
Oh yeah.
It's like midnight. I was like, man, they're going long. So that was fun. But yeah, Xbox, I'm curious if that works out. I'm really curious to see what sales will be like if they track that to that degree where you show up, you don't have to pay anything up front. You walk out with the new Xbox 2 or Scarlet or whatever. That'll be interesting to hear about that. But it's an option. Like you said, OJ, you can still spend the money and just pick it up like normal if you want.
Yep.
So
that'll be for people.
What about Nate? What about you? Would you just buy, like when the new system comes out? Would you just buy it, or would you consider like the? I think people will consider it, but would you consider that way because you're going to pay Xbox Live anyway, or would you just say, nah, I'll just save up and buy it?
No, I mean I would just save up and buy it. I get the idea of where it seems like a good idea to the people sit there saying, oh, instead of putting it on a credit card and paying it off at $35 a month, I'll just do it through Microsoft.
Yeah, if you put that on, if you put it on a credit card and spend $35 a month on it, it's gonna be a long time before you pay that sucker off.
But it's like, I mean, like I kind of understand the contract route, you know, like the cell phone providers do of, oh, we'll charge you $20 a month for 2 years until you pay off your phone, or you know, however long it takes. So I get why Microsoft might want to go this path, but at the same time, it's if you can't afford it, don't buy it. It's, I mean, like we say, like video gaming is an expensive hobby.
It is. It is.
I mean,
Absolutely is. Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. Now, I mean, it sounds like elitist to be like, oh, if you're too poor for an Xbox, you know, too bad, but you can't afford it.
Do what Don Matrix said. He's like, you know what? We got a system for you. It's called the 360.
Yeah, go buy a 360.
But that's just how it was, though. See, that's the thing that I guess kind of gets me a little bit less like people like, oh, well, this needs to happen. This needs to happen. I can't afford it. I'm like, well, I couldn't afford stuff either. What makes you any better than anybody else when we were kids? You know, that's something that pisses me off.
Yeah.
People say, oh, I want this, 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 and this. I'm like, well, you don't get that always, okay, kid? Like sometimes you don't get everything you want. All right. When I was a kid, I couldn't afford anything. I didn't get to play PlayStation, all these PS1 games. I had to wait till I could work at McDonald's. Okay. And I bought my own PlayStation 2. So sometimes you don't always get what you want. You might have to wait. The games will not disintegrate and explode. You can play games 3 years from now when you're older or when you can afford something. It's okay to go back and play a game. I went back and played Xenosaga because I couldn't afford them when they first came out. I went back and played Xenogears because I didn't have a PS1. It's okay. Like there's not a problem with that to wait and play a game that's older. It's not going to go anywhere. You can wait. You'll be okay.
I mean, the only reason I had video games as a kid, like a young kid, was because my uncle got a Sega Genesis Model 1 when it first came out, and he gave me his NES and games for Christmas. And then I had the NES during the peak, and I think, oh man, I think my parents got me a Genesis. Probably I remember it was a Sonic 2 bundle that came out, so it was a couple years after only owning an NES. So I mean, you know, I think the N64 was the first thing that I got that was like within the first year of the system's launch as a kid.
Ooh, I found some Wii Mini systems. I might do one of those for a Tech Wave.
You get a part?
Cool. Yeah, I'm curious how that thing goes. Apparently, it's a pop top for the disc. It's interesting. I might look into that. Okay,
converted to Discman.
Yeah, right. It's pretty small. I'm looking at it now. Zachary Thomas, $5 says, you can always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Zachary. That made me feel better. Sema Tuvon. Don't let OJ lie. He made a ton of money.
What are you talking about? No, I'm saying when I was
at McDonald's.
At McDonald's. Yeah. My checks were every 2 weeks. My checks were like $300, and I was like, "Oh, $300, let's go!" That was back when minimum wage was like, oh man, dude, like they paid
back in the day,
like,
minimum wage was like $5 or $6.
Yeah, it was like $5 or something. I worked like maybe like 15 hours. I was still going to high school, so I was like working like 15 hours a week or something like that, 15 to 20 hours a week, so part time. But that's what you did, man. Yeah, that's how. And then you bought the games when you could. So you know,
yeah. My first job was when I was like 14. I worked at a restaurant. It was like they paid me $5.15 an hour.
Yeah,
that's how it was, man. You just run food. That was my job. I put dressings on the side of salad too. That was my other job. Yeah, that's all I did. That's all I did. I was like, I ran food out, and then I would like pour like ranch or blue cheese, and I just put it with the salad, and then I'd hand it to the person. That was my job. And then of course, the idea was that the server would come by and tip you out. And man, they broke out the calculator every time. I got like if it was like $2.45 or 47 cents, they were counting out those pennies to hand me. So you get like, you get so many percent of like their tips or whatever. It was like, oh man, those are the days. I just needed money so I could get that PS2 game, man. I think at the time, I remember I really wanted Orphan, and I worked for weeks for that game, and that was disappointing. Yeah, so let's go down here. Gamescom. What's everyone think about Gamescom? Anything good? Anything fun? Anything pop out at you?
I don't even. What happened at Gamescom?
Okay, we're off
Saints
to a good
Row the
start.
Third, baby.
All right. So Saints Row.
Yeah.
I was very confused about that announcement. They're also bringing Let's Sing 2019 to the Wii, by the way. Daniel today with $2 says work hard and hustle. Thank you. That's the yeah. Gamescom was actually fairly eventful. I wanted Max to be here because I wanted him to talk about Shenmue, because Shenmue was very polarizing on YouTube, by the way. And I knew it would be. If you go back and watch my video, I said I want to see how people are going to react to this game now in 2018.
Yeah, I actually tweeted out something just like that before reviews hit, because I was like, longtime fans are going to be, they're going to have nostalgia goggles on, and they're going to say it's still the revolutionary game it was in like 2000. And then you're going to have newcomers come in to say the tank controls are terrible, the game has no direction. What am I doing? Why am I looking for sailors? And why does this guy keep asking me to play Lucky Hit? And what happens is the reviews come out, and it's like 7s, but the game is glitchy and buggy as all fuck.
I said the worst enemy in that game is a corner in a building. That's the final boss.
I mean, I'm seeing clips on Twitter where a guy is going on a bus, and the cinematic cuts to a static image of a phone. And then it goes into stuck in a first-person view, and they can't even play the game anymore. So how is this game getting 9
pretty good?
The game is broken.
I think the voice acting is pretty good too, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
English dub is amazing.
Well, here's the thing about.
Sorry, I had to get that cheese in real quick.
Sean is a Shenmue fan. I really wanted Max to be here because he's such a big Shenmue fan. I wanted him to kind of talk about the difference between 2000 and 1999 to now for how people are like. If you go watch Jim Sterling's video, he destroyed these games.
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of dumb to destroy
the idea of this collection, this collection was for the fans, really, right? It wasn't.
You're getting 2 games that are roughly 20 years old for $30, and you're like, oh fuck this shit! It plays like shit. Of course, motherfucker! It was like one of the first open world games. Like I love the collection. The one thing I don't love though is how varied. Even on the same platform, how varied the glitches are, because I didn't encounter anything crazy like I've been seeing other people have. Like, and I'm like Joe from GameSack, like he was playing Space Harrier and like his Xbox One X just like shut off, and like during playing Shenmue, and it was like, what the fuck? It's so random how the glitches are and where they appear. That's the scary thing, because I had some little minor sound glitches and things like that. Nothing like what I've been seeing other people have. And like, that's the weirdest thing about it, I think.
I also want to point this out, just for people who aren't aware of this. Shenmue 1, when that first came out, that was one of the most expensive games ever to develop back then. It was apparently there was a range somewhere around 50 to 60 million is how much it cost.
It had to sell like 5 copies to every Dream.
Yeah,
to make
it got out of control badly. But apparently Shenmue 2 was kind of in development at the time as well, so they were kind of developing both. But yeah, they needed sales that were impossible, and it felt like they were just like, whatever, let's just do it. So
like Shenmue, like I loved the game when I played it on the Dreamcast. One of my favorite games. I remember the night I beat the game. I was like, oh my! I was like, this game is amazing. And then now I'm playing it. I'm getting glitches, and it's just the game is still good for the time it represents. But like Jim Sterling's video is a crock of shit. It's like saying, oh, Mario Brothers on the NES is crap. Well, yeah, because it's fucking 30 years old.
But Mario Bros. But it's still pretty good though.
Yeah, so it's Shenmue.
Shenmue is good, but I mean, how can you release this love collection to fans and the controls are bad, or like make the controls a little better? You can update them and still like retain.
The controls are pretty bad, I will say.
Like Resident Evil Remake, when they brought it to Xbox One and PS4, they gave it, the analog controls. It still had a tank feel, and Shenmue was just like, what the hell is going on?
It didn't take very long for them to do it, to make the port.
True.
Yeah, no. Did you
I think that shows.
Did you check out Sterling's video, Sean?
I don't watch him.
I'd go watch him when he gets a chance, just to see what his thoughts were on it, just so you can check.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's entitled to his thoughts. Yeah, it's just his opinion. But
I was just because I obviously we all recorded videos before it came out and before anybody else put any thoughts or anything out at the time, and that was completely what I was thinking. I was like, I have to see how people are going to react to this game nowadays, especially if it's like a 14-year-old or something, wasn't even alive.
14-year-olds shouldn't be allowed to play this game. That's different.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was a joke.
Yeah. I mean, they needed to get it out before Shenmue 3. That's obvious.
But they got a year. Shit.
Yeah.
At least.
But Sega's not really in that game, you know. They're not, but they needed to at least get it out there because I feel like when Shenmue 3 comes out, which I'm still worried about that game, by the way. Which we got a release date. It's what, August 29th?
Yep.
Yeah. I believe
2019.
that. Yeah. I believe that come August 29th.
Yeah.
Dude, that is one of the most conservative release dates they could have announced. They announced that release date a year out. They must have this game has to be done, I think, because that by like July or something, maybe even before then, because they're like, all right, we're gonna finish there and we'll do testing and stuff. We're gonna be ready, you know. So that's crazy. They put it out. Yeah. So Gamescom, we got Shenmue release date. We got Devil May Cry release date. That's March 8th. Looking forward to that. Very excited.
Looks good.
Sekiro got a release date. Let me see.
Luigi's Mansion got a release date.
Nobody cares about Luigi's
Mansion. I do, damn it.
It's a 3DS game.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it for an hour and be like, "Fuck! I can just play this on my Panasonic Q."
Luigi is dead. He got killed by Dracula.
That is true,
man. Sekiro coming March 22nd. Looking forward to that as well. It looks like Tenchu. They put a whole trailer out for put a trailer out, and then gameplay got out from GameSpot. So I'm looking forward to that because Death's Gambit, a bit of a letdown. So I'm looking forward to that one to see how that goes because there's some interesting stuff coming out about that. It's very arcadey. Apparently, you don't have a lot of customization, no real RPG elements to it. So I'll see. I actually was one of the few people that actually enjoyed Tenchu Z. So I was looking for another game similar to it. And this looks more arcadey, but it still kind of has that same style. So I'm looking forward to definitely to that one. I know OJ is at least interested in Devil May Cry 5. You're a Devil May Cry person.
I'm a big Devil May Cry. Yeah, I'm a big Devil May Cry 5 fan.
So I know you're psyched when you saw Devil May Cry 5 compared to the last Devil May Cry that we got.
Yeah, although I did play the last Devil May Cry, DMC Devil May Cry. I do have it on the 360 originally. And I was like, I can't play this, so I bought it on the PC, and I was like, okay, this is much better. But I get it. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I do like them. I've played and beat all the Devil May Cry games. 2 is I don't mention 2. I don't like to mention that game, but screw that game. It's horrible. Don't ever play that game.
3 is good. Go play 3. 3 is
very good. 3 is very good. Get the special edition though if you're gonna, or actually no, if you get like the one on Xbox 360 or sorry. Yeah, Xbox 360 or PS3, you can get the collection, or on PS4 and Xbox One, because they fix it. Because if you get the original one, that one's going to kick your butt. So don't get that one. Don't get the original Devil May Cry 3, because they made a mistake when they ported it over when they brought the Western version. It has the hard mode as the normal mode, and people were just getting destroyed. So play the special edition. That one's really good, or just play the ones on PS4 and Xbox One.
Did you hear about, this was so funny. This is going around on Twitter. Did you hear about how,
I know.
Yeah, you know what I'm about to say. The music is tied to how well you're doing with combos and stringing everything together. Yep. So if you're doing this, the music will start pumping. You're just getting after it, and everything is amazing. And if you're doing terrible, the music is terrible. And people were coming away, reviewers, and people were previewing like, this music is terrible. And then that came out, and they just looked like they were just bad at the game.
And the thing about it is that Devil May Cry's been doing that. That's not a Devil May Cry. So when I saw people, I'm just like, oh god, you freaking idiot.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were going to carry that over, but when I heard that, I was like, this is outstanding. This is so great. Because what's really funny is people don't realize this, when you get review copies of stuff, usually if they're doing their job right, they should give you a press packet of some kind that kind of goes over things. And I know if that would have probably been in there, but because they went to an event, they probably didn't tell them that. So they just kind of left them, to go out on their own and tell people they weren't very good at Devil May Cry, I guess. That was great, though. I love that. That was so funny. It reminds me of that Cuphead fiasco a while ago.
Devil May Cry is one of those franchises that you really have to kind of warm yourself up to. Like when you first start playing, if you haven't played it in a while, you're going to get bopped. You're not going to be as good. You got to kind of get back into the swing of things and kind of figure out what's going on with this new one. And the games have changed so much over the years, and it's not a franchise that's constantly out. So, I mean, when you go to an event, you're probably going to be a little like, okay, well, this is the new Devil May Cry. It's been a while since the last one came out, so there'll be a little bit of nerves there for some people playing the game.
It's been a while, too. Obviously, Devil May Cry 4 was really the last actual Devil May Cry, let's be honest.
That was when I was, dude, that Devil May Cry 4, I was a junior in college. I just transferred.
Is that crazy? It's been this long.
Yeah, it's been that long. 2007, I think, is when or early 2008 when that game came out. I think maybe, but I remember I was still in college, and that was a long time ago, guys. That was a long time ago. So that was when that game came out. So it's been a while since we've got like the true, whatever you want to call it, Devil May Cry game. So I mean, people are probably a little bit out of practice, you know.
Yeah, that's yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. What's gonna be great is if that comes out and then Bayonetta comes out later in the year, so we get like a year with a Devil May Cry and a new Bayonetta. That's insane to think about that.
It's great.
It's gonna be cool though. Yeah, if people like action games, it's gonna be outstanding, especially if they're spaced out. Like Devil May Cry is in March and then Bayonetta is in like October or something. Right, yeah. September, maybe November, somewhere in there. That's gonna be plenty of space to spend time with both of them. So that's gonna be really cool.
There's not a lot of action games like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry that come out anymore, you know. So it's good. It's good that we get these type of games. These are pretty much it. Nobody else really God of War is no longer in that category anymore. You know, like it kind of used to be, but it's not really in that category anymore. So we don't get games like this a lot. So it's cool to see it.
Well, maybe we'll talk about one other action game, Daemon Ex Machina.
Yes.
This game, they put out a trailer. Oh man, the music for it, everything. It was like heavy metal music and everything. Oh, it was awesome. The game looks so cool. They did a whole like treehouse event kind of at the Gamescom. It looks awesome.
Did you guys see the on foot sections? That looks
they had like they hit the Hayabusa armor on and everything.
Yeah, I did a recording of myself, a live reaction to it. So I already recorded. I just got to upload it. But yeah, dude, I was blown away.
Yeah, if you did not see that trailer, go watch it. The music is paired perfectly with it. It looks outstanding, and it's going to I think fly under the radar a bit, and I hope not, because I will talk about it when it's coming out, but like. No one really talks about it now, though.
Well, I mean, I think it's just because the release is still far away. We really don't know much about it. But I mean, Nintendo's gonna hype the hell out of that game.
Yeah, I mean, they're publishing it, right? So I assume they will. But I feel like that's a game that could sneak out in the first quarter and help them a bit. It seems like whenever you show footage of it, it looks like it's pretty far along. Like it looks like they could just show up in a direct and say it's coming out. You know, it's coming out in February or something.
I feel like it will be. It will definitely.
Actually, stay away from February, not February. Not March though. Maybe March. February just has some big stuff dropping. Early February. They get away with like the first week in February.
But for Nintendo, like what games does Nintendo have dropping in February? Really, they don't got much.
Yeah. I'm just more. I'm more. Fire Emblem. I hope they can get that out.
Well, we have no idea.
That might be an April release though. Yeah. I was thinking more along the lines of just game spend in general. So sometimes people got to decide, between any one game. But and like I said, first week in February they get away with it because February 22nd has 5 games coming out on it. Some of them are kind of larger. The alleged Crackdown 3, which by the way was not at Gamescom.
I'm shocked.
Not at Gamescom. I can't believe it wasn't. That's so weird. That's supposed to be coming out then, which we still don't know much about it. So
yeah, Crackdown 3 is just a developmental nightmare.
It apparently has a lot to do with those servers that they're trying to, the cloud thing they're trying to get done. And they missed out. They had a Inside Xbox and everything where they showed us a bunch of controllers and some systems that were all bundles.
Well, the cloud is the future of gaming, so I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Sony released a PDP. Did you see that? Their remote that they talked about during
the cloud remote. Yeah.
Oh, that's so hilarious. They sent me a press release, and I was like, "All right, I guess." Man, I'm concerned. I don't know when they're going to show Crack. They're just going to release a thing for Crackdown 3, I guess, at some point.
They're just going to randomly release it. It's just going to pop up one day, like, "Here, now shut the fuck up about this game."
I think it's going to. I mean, it's going to Game Pass, so they're going to do well with it. But
yeah.
I think out of the February releases, I think Anthem is the game that bombs.
Anthem has too much to lose. That's the problem. They have to sell well. And EA is going to be rolling into that after the Battlefield 5 thing, where it's probably not going to sell as well as everything around it. Because they want 10 million copies of that to sell. They want some obscene amount.
They'll sell 10 million.
I mean, the Battlefront 2 couldn't get to 10 million. That has Star Wars attached to it.
Battlefront 2, it's probably near 10 million, right?
The last time we heard about it was like 9 million or something.
Yeah, it's probably over it.
And they put out a whole sad press release, like it was like the worst thing ever.
Because they sold 7 million of those copies at $20.
The problem was they were shooting for about 16 million with Battlefront 2.
Yeah, and the game devalued quickly. It devalued quickly. It's, you know, and they wanted probably 16 million quick, you know, like right there within the first a month or two. Like when it's
I do not want Anthem to bomb. I am concerned for BioWare if Anthem bombs. I'm very concerned for them.
I think that
they're done. They're done.
I think that they need to just make sure that they don't talk so much. I think that's EA's problem sometimes, is that they talk with this whole Battlefield thing. They talk a little bit too much. Just do normal PR for the game.
Dude,
and just
Call of Duty is giving us a stripped down game. They're going to be selling you microtransactions and a season pass, and they're going to do better because they don't say anything. It's insanity right now.
And the Call of Duty like core base is just dumb.
The Black Ops branding is just too powerful.
I mean, they'd buy it even if the game was literally turn it on. A guy came on the screen, said Black Ops, gave you the finger, and walked away. It would sell 10 million copies because people just buy Call of Duty.
I realized that when Battlefield 1 couldn't outsell Infinite Warfare. That was the aha moment where I'm like, Battlefield's just never going to be able to outsell Call of Duty. It's never happening. We'll see. Oh, we do have that Blackout beta coming up September 10th, though, so we'll check that out. We'll see how that goes. Oh, I also want to point out to everybody who's watching, Sekiro does appear to have optional purchases, so keep that in mind. I think they're going to try to sneak in some microtransactions. Activision will, so keep that in mind. We were pointing that out. People were pointing that out, and I saw it in the PlayStation the description thing for it. So.
It's going to make the game better. I can't wait.
They did drop that Nindies presentation kind of out of nowhere. I mean, we heard about it hours before, but like 2 days before then, we wouldn't have. I didn't hear anything about it. So it kind of started to develop a few hours before. People started to find it and everything. I'm sure Nate knew about it and just didn't tell me or anybody else. So I'm sure Nate over there.
Yeah, I know a lot of things that I just can't talk about.
This guy. Yeah. So the indie event kicked off. There was some cool stuff there. My biggest thing was Windjammers going to the Switch and Windjammers 2 getting announced. I know Evan saw that, right, Evan?
Yeah, I checked out the trailer.
The art styles, I'm hoping it just plays smoothly, but it's coming to the Switch, I believe, in October, and then we're still waiting for any release date or any talk about Windjammers 2. But I am so excited for that. I was so happy someone will finally will actually be able to play Windjammers with me, because nobody plays Windjammers with me on the PS4. No one. Evan will also be on PC, so.
Yeah,
you'll probably just get it on the Switch, though, to be honest.
Most likely on the Switch. Yeah, I don't see myself sitting here in front of the PC playing it.
Yeah, let's be real. You just get on. Yeah, so that'll be cool, though. I mean, it's those kind of games where, I mean, on resolution and frame rate stuff doesn't really come into play. It's like, why wouldn't I just get it on the Switch? So like that would be a cool game to have at like a convention or like a LAN party or something. Have that kind of just set up. That's gonna be pretty awesome. Was there any big announcements at the Nindies that you guys were excited for? Anything that really popped out? Of course, Morphe's Law had that drop just out of nowhere, which they sent me the email for it beforehand, and I was unfortunately asleep before then, so I was not actually around when the Nindy stuff was going on. But any big announcements, guys, that you saw?
No,
I don't even actually remember anything announced.
They had some stuff like the Bad North got dropped. That was cool. That game was kind of cool looking. But really, there wasn't a ton of different things. Just a lot of the stuff that I was thinking about was like, okay, well, Dragon Mark for Death. I'm thinking that's going to be at this upcoming one.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that I thought was going to be in there, because for some reason I was up at that time. You know,
there you go. Yeah, it was even earlier for you, man. Very nice.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. Oh, I know, because I wasn't feeling good that week because of everything that was just kind of going on and stuff. So I wasn't really feeling good. So I was having trouble sleeping. So I was up working instead. And then I just saw it. And I was like, what? Like, so yeah, it was like 4 a.m. where I was at, and I started live streaming that. So I live streamed the live reaction to their not live presentation.
I do want to point out Gunslinger with Monster Boy. That game looks phenomenal.
Yes, Monster Boy looks good. Monster Boy actually that looks like I want to try that game out. That looks
Monster Boy comes out first week of November, I believe.
Really?
I believe it's first week in November is what their release date was that they showed. Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm actually going to try to get that physically, as well as FDG has already got me down for that review copy, but I'm buying it physically anyway, because it's going to be sweet. It's going to be an awesome looking, probably physical copy to have. So I'll be getting that.
Are we talking about the Indies presentation for this upcoming week too, or are we just still on
yeah.
the
Oh yeah. We could just talk. Honestly, a lot of the stuff there, other than like Monster Boy really got me, Windjammers 2 really got me, but I know they're holding stuff off for the big one because they didn't even advertise that one. They advertised this one like days out. So
I mean, it's not so much that they are keeping things. If you look at the Gamescom indie event, it was all European developers.
Yes.
So it was definitely just focused on, we're Gamescom, we're going to focus on these Europeans. Now this one's probably going to be, some of those European, North American, Japanese. It's going to be the entire spectrum of indie for Switch.
Yes. Anything you guys are hoping is there? I know you said Dragon Mark for Death.
Yes.
Hopefully a release date is supposed to be coming out wintertime. It's going to be playable at PAX West as well, so I fully expect a release date of some kind.
Travis Strikes Again. If that's going to be like
they got it, man. Some people weren't too happy with how it was playing. At this point, we just need a release date for it. It's coming out this year.
Wasn't it only like one person who gave a negative preview, and it was Laura Kate Dale from Kotaku?
Laura Kate Dale. I saw someone else on Twitter talking about just a quick experience they had with it, but Laura Kate Dale seemed to go around a lot. But what they were describing was kind of what I was concerned about that I saw in some of the gameplay videos that people were showing. To
be honest, I'm not really worried about what Kotaku says. I mean, when somebody brought that, I started laughing when somebody's like, "Oh, Kotaku," I was like, "Okay, so what?" You know what I'm saying? Not to diss Kotaku or Laura or the work that they do, but I don't live vicariously through their previews, or like I don't trust what they say 100% because I disagree with a lot of stuff those people say. So I mean, like for me, I think that like that game, I'm still looking to see when we get a release date. But also, I mean, is there any chance that we get like an Oceanhorn 2 announcment at this upcoming? Like
after I saw Windjammers 2, you can announce anything there. That was on the Neo Geo, man. This was so long ago.
But have you seen Oceanhorn 2, like how it looks on the smartphones? It looks freaking incredible. Like that game looks amazing. It's like it's such a waste of potential being on smartphones because that's the type of game. Like you have like a full party now, it looks great. Has anybody here actually seen Oceanhorn 2?
No.
It looks freaking amazing. And like it would just be a waste if it was just smartphone. I mean, I know they'll probably bring it over to the Switch at some point, but I would really like to get the development like that we don't have to wait so long after, the original like smartphone release. So
it does look really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we have you're thinking Dragon Mark for Death will get something. What do you think Travis Strikes Again would come out? Where is there a spot for you think this year?
I would think November. November. Okay. Yeah, like a November type of.
November's pretty open. Yeah, I think they can get it out there. That's a $60 game with a physical copy.
Do you think is it? I think it might be a $60 game. I think it might be.
I don't think it shouldn't be that price that high.
Yeah,
I think it'll be maybe a $30 game at most. But I think it'll release by like September.
Let me see if anybody has a pre-order up for it yet. I haven't checked that to see. You guys think there are many surprise drops like that day? Like I don't think anything like I don't think Warframe fits into an indie game at all. But I do think before we do that, Devolver Digital absolutely needs to drop, or not drop, at least show Metal Wolf Chaos there. Is that the game I'm thinking of?
That game, didn't they announce that game and it wasn't for
It was at E3, but no Switch that are there. But they could have been maybe working on it. It wasn't ready to announce it yet. Maybe it's ready now, and Nintendo's like, "Yo, let's put it in this indie event."
Okay,
that'd be awesome. I'd be all for that, man. Why not? Because they said they had like 12 games or something for the Switch they have to announce, and that was the first game that came to my mind. Was that game? Because that game is it's stupidly funny. Anything? Someone said Wargroove.
I think we'll see Shovel Knight at least get a release date, and I think Firewatch could either release that day or at least that week.
Okay. Travis Strikes Again is up on GameStop for $60.
Wow, that better be a placeholder.
That's a $60 game. I really hope that's a placeholder. That should be. I hope it's like a $40 game, $30 or $48 game.
I'll still buy it for $60.
I will too, because I want that No More Heroes game that I hope that money would go towards. But you guys think we'd see possibly someone Melphis here in the chat? You think we'd see a Dust Elysian Tale
September
drop?
10th?
Okay, September 10th.
Yeah, that's already good.
Okay, cool. What about Shakedown Hawaii?
Yeah, maybe.
I think the developers are like, I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing with the game at this point.
Okay. I was hoping that people are saying a lot of stuff. Shinin New IP.
Yes, I talked about that. I would like to see Shannon's new game. Because they've been working on a game for a while now. Because all they put out is Fast Racing Neo on the Switch. Yeah. So it's been a while, dude. It's been a while. So, and that was a port of the Wii U game. So I think that they're probably going to reveal something here.
Okay, I would like to see Travis Strikes Again getting a some kind of other crossover. They showed that Morphe's Law shirt. I was hoping for more like they said they were going to be like crossovers and stuff. I haven't really seen a lot. Like I thought that was the idea, was that they'd be going into different games or something. That's the other thing about Travis Strikes Again. They haven't really explained it very well. Like I thought that was the idea, was that he goes into other people's games or indie games or something.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, the video was he got sucked into a gaming system, and then they showed specifically 3 types of games. I think at the time that we knew of were other games with him.
Okay,
in it, basically.
Okay, hold on. Micah in the chat says Sidebar Games. That's Golf Story developer said they're working on something different. We'll look forward to something soon. Yo, whatever Sidebar shows up with, I'm gonna be checking that, because the Golf Story is out. If you have not bought Golf Story, there's something wrong. You gotta go.
Isn't there a physical? There's a physical one coming, right?
Limited Run Games is doing that, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a September release.
Yep, I'm on that. Definitely. OJ, explain to me why people keep saying Cuphead for the Switch.
I don't know why people keep saying Cuphead for the Switch. People do that to me all the time. I don't know.
Dude, MDHR, I mean, they swore allegiance to Microsoft at this point.
I think because Doc Trey thinks that it could come over as well. So I think there's some people that think that it's going to come over for some reason.
That would be interesting if they did that. That would
the day that happens is when Ori comes over to Switch.
Yeah.
We're not going to get Ori in the Whispering.
By the way, I don't think Ori's out till like holiday 2019. Isn't that crazy? I feel like that game's we've been hearing about that game forever. Yeah, Studio MDHR is very much in Microsoft's corner. So if that showed up, that would be actually kind of shocking, to be honest. That would catch me off guard a little bit. But it'd be funny. I don't know. I showed you guys it can run without a video card, so there you go.
Cuphead would be legit for Switch though, because like be able to have that type of game anywhere, like that'd be way better. But it's
Dude, people about to be breaking their Switches, man. Oh,
people breaking their Switches on stupid Dead Cells, man. God, I hate that game, but then I like it.
I will say, if you have not bought Cuphead's worth $20. Go pick it up. It's an awesome game. It runs on. I showed you guys. You don't even need a good PC to play it. It runs on like nothing. So I played it with Intel HD graphics. So. You can play it on anything. Maybe not at 60, but yeah, the Indies looks interesting. I'm looking forward to the 28th to see what they have for us. And that's the problem. It's tough. It's impossible to guess what indie is going to show up there, really, other than some of the ones we think.
Maybe a Firewatch release date.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What about Steamroll, like the Steamroll dudes? Like, you think anything from them coming up?
I guess what else would they did their the Dig 2 was good.
Yeah, they did a merger with the other people, like, and now they're like a way bigger company than they were before.
Dude, the people from Sidebar should do a tennis game.
That'd be
I'd
nice.
be on that. I'd be on it.
I'd be more. I like Golf Story. It's really good, but I'd totally like a tennis game more than like a golf
Moonlight. More info for Moonlight. That's a good one. Dragon Gamer. Very good. Very good. I'd be into that. And then let me move on here. That's the 28th, guys. Noon Eastern, I believe, 9 a.m. Pacific time. That'll be fun. I'm sure most people here will be streaming it, so you can tune in to whoever will be watching it. Hopefully surprised by what happens. Grandia 1 and 2 Langrisser announced. Surprise, shock, all.
Super hype about Langrisser and also Grandia. Both games that I played as a kid. Langrisser, I remember downloading off the internet, like back with Net Zero, dude, not knowing what the hell was going on, but I still played it and I loved it back then. So I'm super hyped, and I've not played any remakes or other ones. I played the first 2 games, did not know what was going on, but I still played them. So I'm really excited to get this remake. And also Grandia, great game. Played both of them, haven't beat either one of them, but really excited to get them. So I was actually super hyped about both.
Apparently, it was Grandia 2 that I had played. I mixed them up. Grandia 1 was actually on the PlayStation 1. The one I played on the Dreamcast was the second one, and I liked it. I thought it was fun. It also was on Steam. I actually have it on Steam as well because it was super cheap when I think it first dropped. It might even be cheap now. I know when it came out, it was pretty cheap. The collection is cool though. That's neat to see that show up, and I hope a lot of people pick it up. THQ Nordic's doing a 90% off sale on Steam. I hope that's something they do. Is I hope it sells well.
Grandia?
Yeah, I hope
Grandia's going to do great on the Switch.
How crazy would it be if it did so well that 3 showed up?
Oh yeah,
insane.
I think that type of game, and especially after Octopath, you're going to get a lot of people that are just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be like a word of mouth game. People are going to just start, once it does come out, because like Grandia it's still very playable today. It's not like it's like horrible controls and the game just doesn't. I mean, there's some stuff in it, obviously, that's old because it's an old game, but it still plays really well. The battle system's really good. So
yeah, and for PC people, Grandia 1 HD is also making the jump over to Steam at that same time. So they're gonna just bring both over as a collection to the Switch, and then they're gonna fill out the spot on Steam. So if you already have the second one on your PC, you can pick it up there as well. By the way, another game you don't need much of anything on your PC to play. That would be another game that would run off HD graphics. Sock 10 says, hoping for Guacamelee 2 and Fighting EX Lair. Guacamelee 2 is on the PS4, but I don't know if it's
timed exclusive.
Yeah, I thought that's what I was thinking. It was timed exclusive, so I don't know how long.
Yeah, I don't Fighting EX Lair. I don't think that's coming over anytime soon, if at all. Yeah.
Yeah, Langrisser was a weird one. That's the one that caught me off guard. Grandia, okay, that makes sense, the name and everything. It's cool, but Langrisser, though, what? That's going to PS4, Switch, and I don't know if it's going to PC. I think it's just PS4 and Switch. Langrisser 1 and 2, though, HD. Weird. We're going to find out more on the 29th, right? So Wednesday. So we're going to get the Indies. Then Wednesday, we're going to find out probably gameplay of that, at least, I think.
We could get it a day before because apparently there's gonna be more information from in Japan, so they're ahead quite a bit. So the information could come on on Tuesday too.
Oh, good point. Zachary Thompson says you can get Darksiders War Mastered and Darksiders 2 Definitive for like $5, and that's it. They make the worst names, by the way, for their games. THQ Nordic. Definitive.
Horrible.
I got Red Faction on my Xbox One X, and that's called the remastered edition.
Yeah, it's so I did not buy it because of the name alone. First of all, I already played the game, but still, that name is stupid.
It was pretty good. It was actually all right. I liked that. That was fun.
That name? Like the name?
No, the game. Like,
the game's great.
I got a review copy center. I actually spent some time playing it.
The game. I played on the PS3. More than 10 years ago. I nearly platinum trophied it. No, the
I
game's
did.
great.
I did it on the 360. I think. That was so cool. That's such a fun game.
That's good.
You just destroyed buildings.
Freaking hard though, man.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, it's hard. No, it's good. It's like a good, like the challenge is there, but it's great. It's really good. I like.
Oh, that would be part of the. Oh, that's part of the THQ Nordic sale. Darksiders War Mastered and Definitive Edition for $5. I actually already own both of those, but for anyone who doesn't, those are awesome games. First one I think is better than the second one, so at least buy the first one. Although, THQ Nordic, don't be surprised if that comes over to the Switch as well. They're moving everything over. It seems like older stuff they're moving.
Saints Row 3, baby,
dude, that's gonna be so weird. What do you guys think the price is gonna be on that?
If it's $40, I'll buy it. If it's more,
it needs to be 30 or less. I'm sorry, that game is
$39.99 with all.
Oh my gosh, they better not show up with $40 on that game.
I think there's gonna be $40, baby, because they're gonna. Do you know what they're gonna do? This is what they're gonna do. They're really. Here's what they're gonna do. I think I said in my video, I said it was gonna be $29.99 to $39.99. I think they're really going to pimp out like the motion controls and make sure it's really good and try to get people. Not that it's worth that. Not that it's worth 40, but they're gonna try to tell people, oh, it's worth 40 because of HD, because of the motion controls, because of all the different DLC is gonna be in there. All the DLC is gonna be in there, and it's portable. There's never been a portable version of Saints Row. This is worth 40. They're gonna do it. I'm telling you that I think this is what gonna do.
And the thing of it is, I think it'll sell at 40 just because because there's no GTA. There's nothing quite like a Saints Row game on the Switch, an open world, do whatever the fuck you want, sort of sandbox game.
I just watched Okami release for $20 from one of the cheapest companies. Thanks, Capcom, by the way, for the Monster Hunter review.
Digital only. Digital only.
We don't know if Saints Row is not going to be physical though. If it's physical, I get why it's 40 because the cartridge price.
I think it's going to be physical.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying 40. If it's digital only, fuck off, 30 or less.
That Dan guy will actually talk about that in a minute because that's going to be something.
But there really isn't any game like Saints Row on the
That's
Switch.
why I think they might try to leverage that for the price. But that's like that game's. Oh man, I don't know. It's $10 on Steam, I think, right now. Yeah, and it plays on my GPD Win pretty well, actually, because it's.
I've heard. Okay, so Saints Row the Third. There's no PS4 or Xbox One remaster of that game or anything.
Right.
Well, I don't think so. No,
I think that's another reason that they're gonna try to leverage that. Oh, well, it's never been re-released at all. This is just
that's because they picked up the IP last year, I think, right, for Saints Row, or was it earlier this year? THQ Nordic picked it up fairly recently. There was a big deal about Saints Row's back with THQ right now. So
yeah,
I mixed up the third and the fourth game. So
the third one is probably I'm a little more partial to the second, but
the second
the
definitely.
third is technically the best one in the series. It is. If you go on Steam, seems like it has the best rating. I think Metacritic, has the best rating. It's pretty much universally seen as the best one. 4 did some weird stuff, but 3 is a solid game, and they did at one point sell for $60, but I don't know. I think $30 is a fair price for that if they get it out and it's physical.
20
$20 digital.
Physical would be dope. If it was 30 physical, I think it does really, really, really well.
I would prefer, honestly, I even thought about it, just release it digital and make it $20. That'd be cool. I'd be all right with that.
What if they did 20 physical? Oh, that would be the best.
That would be good because the Ultimate Collection on Steam, which I think this is going to be the Ultimate Collection with all the stuff, is $15. So it's literally a $5 difference. So
that's when it would be like impulse buy. That would be impulse buy for everybody. If it was $20 physical.
Grand Theft Auto, so yeah, you'd be like, and it's a ridiculous game, guys. I booted it back up to get some gameplay footage for one of the videos I did, and the first thing you do in the game is you're on a parachute, you fly towards a plane that's jetting towards you, you shoot out the window, you go through the window, kill 3 people going through the plane, and then grab the person that you're going for, throw him out of the plane, and then catch the lady that you just threw up in the air.
Nice.
On the way out. Yes.
Saints Row 3, the one with the dildo gun. Is that where you had like the big?
It wasn't a gun; it was like a sword.
That was a sword. Yeah, you basically run. Dude, Sean, if you've never played Saints Row, you would.
I only played the first 2 when they were still trying to be serious and like GTA.
The third one is ridiculous. They just said, you know what? Who cares?
They gave up on real story and just said, what will make people crazy?
Whatever. I don't care anymore. So yeah, if you want ridiculousness, Sean, I think you would really like that game, actually, Sean.
I love how Evan corrected it. So calm. It's actually a sword, by the way.
You beat people with this giant dick.
Evan corrected with the most seriousness of faces.
You don't shoot dicks at people; you just beat them.
Yeah, get it right.
I believe you unlocked that right after you saved the GIMP from being captured. That was a crazy mission.
Yeah, but after 4, when I remember I got 4, and I was like, all right, I'm done with the series. So I didn't play the other one, Gat Out of the Hell. I was just like, I'm done now. But 3 was the last one that I was like, all right, this is a good game. So $20 would be good. But GTA 5, get GTA 5 on this system already.
No.
I think everybody can agree. Get GTA 5 on there. It was number 2 in the NPDs, by the way.
I'm just talking for Rockstar right here.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I would. Man, that would be the worst if they just ported it and Trip and Fell and made $10 million. Gosh, that'd be the worst. NPDs, we can go through that, and then Evan has some Discord questions for us, so we can do that, and then we'll do some predictions going in because I guess people are asking about a possible next direct already, even though the Nindies isn't here yet.
Next direct.
Yeah. So MPDs, Octopath took number 1. Good for Octopath. Awesome to see. Glad to see a JRPG in 2018 can do that in the US. I think that's a bigger deal than people realize.
Hello?
Pretty big deal. I said I think it's a bigger deal than people realize. It's a pretty big deal. To see Octopath take number 1, a JRPG like that in 2018. So, and then the Switch was number 1. Not surprised. If Octopath was going to be number 1, the Switch was going to be number 1. So, not surprising there. But hey, good to see. Good to see. Number 2 is GTA 5. That's still weird to me. It's never going away, is it?
Nope.
Animation Pup asked if we've been keeping up with Starlink. Star Fox is literally going to be in the main story, fully voiced impressions. Starlink, I need to look. I guess I'm just going to have to get that and see it because I haven't been keeping up with that as much. I don't know. I mean, people are excited for it.
I've been watching the gameplay. It, like I've said before, I'll say it again. It looks like what I wanted Star Fox to be, like turn into. I'm excited. I'm ridiculously excited for the game. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm only worried about the whole the toys things, but apparently it's not going to be that. Apparently it's not going to be like Skylanders, you know. So.
That's what I was worried about, was the toys to life stuff, because I know how Skylanders went, where originally I don't think they were going to get that crazy with it, and then they got extremely crazy with it and killed the thing. So I'm concerned they're going to be like, don't worry guys, there won't be a bunch of ships, and then they see it sells well, and then like 8 months later they're like, hey guys, here's a bunch of ships. So that's my one concern. That's my own concern.
I think if they just, I would hope that they would just do without. I'm looking at the game now and how much hype is. I'm like, man, I really wish that it was just never like that in the first place. You know,
I just want the little R-wing, man. That's all I want. I don't even want the game. I just want the R-wing. If I could just buy, and they don't want to sell the R-wing separately because that'd probably outsell the game. I just want the R-wing.
I did pre-order the bundle though, the Star Fox bundle. So
okay,
ready to go.
Okay. Yeah. I might check it out. We'll see. I don't know. The Toys to Life stuff is I've already used Labo, so I'm Toys to Life out. Oh man. Yeah. So let's go let's go through I guess to the NPDs. Not other than NPDs with that stuff, Octopath and the Switch. There wasn't anything crazy throughout it was kind of a quiet month other than Octopath just smashing it, really, you know.
And people try to like downplay Octopath's success by saying, "Oh, well, nothing else released that month." And
I don't think people realize just the gravity of something like a JRPG that was modeled after stuff from 1995, grabbing such a hold of the NPDs in the US. That's a big deal. That is. It's a big deal. It shows there's a spot for Mother 3. Huh?
Oh God!
Come on, Reggie.
No, it shows that I think Square has to have realized that there's a spot for old school JRPGs, and that's cool. It's almost, I mean, it's almost like it's cyclical how trends can be like that. Like there was a while ago where yo-yos came back, and I'm expecting them to come back again in like 4 years. But that kind of reminds me of that. It's like JRPGs are making a comeback. You know, like Persona 5 did really well for a game that shouldn't have. And Octopath is doing well. So
I do think Persona should have done better for how good it was.
But I mean, because it was a JRPG that dealt with some pretty serious issues, and it was a mature rated game, and there wasn't a lot of marketing for it outside of IGN and stuff.
80 million PS4s though? I mean, dude, that's so many PS4s. I mean, it did great, don't get me wrong. But like, I still think it should have done better, considering how much hype everybody was. I mean, how much praise it got from so many of the American outlets. Like, it was like the one of the few JRPGs to score above, what was it, 92 or something like that. Like most JRPGs don't ever get in the 90s.
It was in the Game of the Year runnings. Those are never in the Game of the Year runnings.
Yeah, and none of them score in the 90s or anymore, just because just American reviewers and Western developers or Western people just don't score high with JRPGs. So unless it's like something maybe like from like Nintendo, but even Nintendo's games don't even do that with JRPGs. So
like Persona 5 is a great game, but the fact that it showed up as number one in NPDs, you're absolutely right. Across 2 million units, that's not normal. They made a great game, but to get recognition like that in Octopath, I do think Octopath's going to outsell Persona 5, mostly because it's a teen. The people don't realize how mature and teen. It's easier to obviously sell a teen rated game.
There's a reason why a lot of movies do a teen rating versus an R rating.
Venom's going to be PG-13.
Thank you, John. I was talking about that because people were talking in my Xenoblade live stream that I had to like, oh, well, what if Nintendo and Mount, they're going to make like a M-rated mature Xenoblade? I'm like, that's the dumbest thing. They're not going, oh my, are you pregnant?
I ain't got no one in my house.
This man.
Dude, that is the bachelor life there, man. Sean's just like, whatever, I don't care.
That's the whole thing.
It's a bowl.
Was that what that phone call was? The guy was delivering it to your front door?
No, my mom called me about something stupid. I was like, go to bed. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, they're not going to make a game. I'm glad that you said that though, John, because they're not going to make a game M-rated for what? An M-rated game doesn't make the RPG better. It doesn't make it better. No matter how much people try to sit there and try to act like it does, it doesn't make it better. You can deal with some certain things or not, but in terms of the general gameplay for what Monolith Soft does, there's no reason to restrict sales because for some blood or something like that, you know, like it's ridiculous.
How would you make an M-rated like Xenoblade anyways? Like, are they gonna just like have the boob scaler come back?
I was gonna say, they're kind of skirting the line with some of those outfits now. They'd have to get. It was actually already kind of like there's actual like some like language in it. There's some violence in it and everything. It's actually, I think it skirts that teen mature line more than people realize probably. But I think they pushed that teen rating pretty well.
Yeah, they did, definitely.
Yeah, so they stayed right on the teen side. I think they were literally walking that tightrope. But you're right, they would have to put like maybe just extra blood in it and some gore or something, and that would get them over. But like obviously Persona, yeah, that's getting that mature rating. But yeah, man, if they were gonna bring one back, I would Digital Devil Saga. Yeah, someone's asked the chat. You want to stick if you can teen rated if you can get away with it, yeah. But like you can't make Persona teen rated. You would actually probably get less sales for something like that because people would realize what you're doing. It's tough. It's tough. Well, that's why Spider-Man's teen. You know, that's why the movie was PG-13.
Well, because a teenager, if you're 14, 15. They've got money too. They get allowance, and they can just walk into the store and buy it. Like, why mom doesn't have to take me? I can walk. I can ride my bike. They can have easier and faster access to the game than not. Seriously, it was a barrier to buy games. I remember when I wanted to buy Resident Evil, I had to go with my mom, and sometimes it would take a little bit longer than it was before, or I just wouldn't get it at all. You know, so if you make it to where it's teen, you can be 11 or 12 years old or 13. What's 12?
No, they don't even stop it, dude. They just sell it to you.
So you could be 5 years old, walk into there and buy it. So that is such a barrier. And I don't think.
Why do you guys think Halo 5 was teen rated?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people don't realize that was teen rated either. They actually did a pretty good job skirting that line too. But
also, Uncharted is teen rated as well.
Yeah. They start that line really well. Actually, now I think about it. Jeez, that's actually a pretty violent teen rated game.
It is. That's the funny thing. Is like, wow, that's teen rated.
They got away with that. Yeah. I'm gonna be curious if Respawn's Star Wars game is gonna be teen rated.
You'll find out when they talk about it in 2019.
Dude, those games, Force Unleashed, those are pretty violent Star Wars games. They get a teen rating on that, so maybe it's because it's lightsabers. It's lightsabers.
Yeah, lightsabers, no blood.
So. Yeah. Predictions for anything following that Indies event, Nintendo Direct. People are hungry for Nintendo Direct right now, and I guess because there's definitely some spots that I think Nintendo could release, even with a third party, some kind of game in the fall. And we heard about the new Super Mario Bros. Thing, so we understand that's probably getting announced, but. Any predictions for a direct coming up? Not necessarily what'll be in a direct, because I know there are things that people can't say, but any thoughts about when a direct could be possibly coming up?
I would say September and then another one in November.
Another one in November.
So two big Nintendo directs, or?
I'd say September would probably be a smaller direct, just kind of, detail the holiday lineup a little bit. Maybe get, announce the new Super Mario Brothers U-port finally. And then November would be a bigger one to get into some of that early 2019 stuff. Probably, if you want to tease a little more of Bayonetta 3 or the that Star Fox Arrow thing, that would be a time to tease. It'd be like November, or you hold it for like the video game awards in December, because each year Nintendo seems to have like that one big reveal.
They did drop that Bayonetta there, man. That was pretty cool.
Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3. No, dude, come on, it's not that bad.
I hate that show so much.
I can't wait to see trending game of the year be another racist piece of shit.
Wait, it's not that. Okay, let's just be real though. It's not that. Is the show really that bad? I mean, compared to what it used to be with Samuel L. Jackson back in the day.
Compared to when they had Call of Duty guy teabagging a guy on stage, it's better than that. But
I am always going to be the type of person that says video games doesn't need to be a suit and tie affair, and I think Jeff Keighley, I just don't like him.
You're the drunk Duff guy, the Duff man that was there for like, screw the Oscars, up the Oscars. You're that guy.
That guy was the best part. He was so cool. Like that's what the majority. I don't know. It just seems so weird to me to try to make it like this prim and proper event and stuff. And God forbid if Kojima's there's going to be the 30-minute sex scene between him and Keighley on stage. Like, good Lord, that was painful. That was so painful. And you know what's funny? I have to call out some people here, even though these guys are my friends. Jeff Keighley made a tweet a couple months ago about how the video game, like suggestions for the video game awards. And my suggestion to him, I told him to cancel it. And like he actually responded. He was like, "Oh, well, why don't you like it?" And so many, because Keeley is Canadian, and so many Canadian Rerez, JKB, they were like, "Fuck you, Sean. Jeff Keeley is God." I'm like, "You Canadians are all the same. You worship Keeley in the ground he walks on." I was like, I just think the show kind of sucks, man. You need to kind of lighten it up. You know, I don't like where the awards are just an afterthought. Like, here's 5 awards right now: best action game, best sports game, best racing game. All right, now let's talk to this guy for 30 minutes and give an emotional speech. It's like, fuck's sake, man. It's video games. It's literally video games. Yes, there are video games that take subject matter very seriously, and I totally get that, and I'm totally cool with that. But at its core, video games is supposed to be like a way to rekindle, your past and, be a kid again, and it's an escape. And I don't know. I always just think it's silly that it's a suit and tie affair, but that's just me.
I think you're a little too hard on the Beaver. You know what I'm saying with this man? I think you're a little bit too hard on Mr. Keeley. I think you're a little too hard on him, my guy.
He's working hard to at least keep it.
He's working hard.
I'll give him that.
I'm not like a super Keeley fan, but I mean, I thought the show was okay. Like, we had a good time. You go there, you live stream it. You're there with all of your community. There's some good announcements, right? Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 3, nobody expected that. So I mean, it's better than nothing. Like,
yeah, all the world premieres they have to like work to try to lock those up and everything. They probably have to pay for something of them.
Oh, they dropped Zelda deal. Remember they dropped the Zelda DLC that night?
Yeah,
and then like
the last one, admittedly, wasn't as bad as they have been, but I don't know. There's just something about Keeley rubs me the wrong way, and like, I'm sure he's a very nice person, and I'm sure he's a good human, and I know his intentions are in the right place, but I don't know.
He's a hype man, and that's the problem. He said that this is going to be the best show ever. Then we started off with like, brought to you by Mountain Dew, Schick Hydro, Doritos, and shaving cream. And then he stands there, and it's like he stands on stage and like pleasures himself.
But he did introduce the Schick Hydro man, yes. And that was just a good night.
Yeah. That was a really good night.
I would say my favorite thing from the Video Game Awards was probably like the Doom music performance. That's another thing I don't like. Or like Killer Mike. I love Killer Mike. Why the fuck is Killer Mike performing at the Video Game Awards? Like, I don't know. That just seems, and like things like that are taking precedent over the awards. If you want to be a suit and tie affair and you want this to be taken seriously, either go all in with it or do it like I would do it. Just an absolute fucking shit show. Like, just crazy off the wall stuff. Like it tries to tiptoe the line where it won't really commit to one thing or another. Maybe that's why I don't like it.
Sean, I would be honest. I would love to see them give you hundreds of thousands of dollars and just you run a show, because dude, watching your show, I feel like would be very entertaining.
Oh, it would be.
I'm going to be honest. I really think you would actually put on a hilarious show.
That would be the whole point, is to entertain people, because that's what video games do, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing. Keeley's things feel so scripted. The interviews feel so phoned in, and then Kojima comes up, and Keeley's on his knees. And it's just like,
that was so bad. That was so cringe. Like, I was just like, okay, are they seeing each other like in real life? Like, that's cool if they are, but like, I don't know. It just felt the whole thing felt very off to me.
Yeah, they're attacking Konami, be like, you treated him so badly. This is like, fuck you.
Guys know long distance relationships don't work like
Konami was rough with Kojima, but the man was like, hey man, here's $40 million. We're giving you 5 years to make a game. 8 years later, where the fuck is the game? Like, he's destroying Konami, and now he makes this Death Stranding game. We've seen trailers, look awesome. Gameplay, what the fuck is going on?
Thank you.
There's a baby on this guy's back with puppet strings of death. Like, it looked like an Amazon delivery in hell.
I have to do my analogy again. Pro wrestling fans will understand this. To me, Konami is Vince McMahon. Hideo Kojima is Vince Russo. Vince McMahon, of course, is the owner of the WWE, at the time WWF. Vince Russo was the head writer for the WWF. during the Attitude Era, when everything was popular, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, DX, when all that shit was popping off and everyone was wearing the t-shirts and they were getting 7s and 8s on ratings, that was because of the combination of Vince McMahon and Vince Russo. Vince Russo was batshit fucking crazy, but all of his ideas had to be filtered to Vince McMahon so they would work together. And then when you take away the Vince McMahon, the person telling you, okay, I don't like this idea, I like this idea, you get Vince Russo in WCW, where it just didn't work out because he was just a man who could do whatever the fuck he wanted. And I honestly feel like that is what is going on with Kojima, because Kojima still had to answer to Konami. Yes, Kojima Productions was its own separate subsidiary in Konami. And yes, he could do pretty much whatever he wanted. But Kojima's games on Konami were all pretty good. You know, something like Bokai and Zone of Enders. I don't think those were that great, but especially
he just went after Zone of the Enders too. Oh, snap.
Whoa.
Okay, compared to Metal Gear, I feel, especially like the first 3, you could even throw in 4. I really liked 4. I feel like those were the pinnacle of Kojima. It was you still had the crazy storytelling, but you could definitely tell that he was being reined in a bit because it wasn't completely off the wall. There were some off the wall things, but it all sort of made sense. And I just feel like Death Stranding is Kojima without his Vince McMahon to tell him, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Maybe this doesn't make sense.
I think Metal Gear Solid 5 was the start of that. Game, Metal Gear Solid 5 as a game. Let's remove Metal Gear Solid from the title. It's a cool open world game with cool objectives. As a Metal Gear game, it's terrible. It doesn't have the epic stories you want. It doesn't have the gameplay you played the series for. It was like, what the hell was Kojima going for with that game? It was almost like he wanted to get fired by Konami, but I just making a piece of shit.
Turned into like a Kojima rant.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is, I used to love Kojima. I probably loved Kojima more than Keeley did on a video game level. On a video game level, at least. Not on a personal level. But like, dude, I was a fucking Metal Gear diehard fan. Like Metal Gear. True story, Metal Gear Solid 2 probably saved my life. If it wasn't for that game, I would probably be either dead or in jail because of drugs. Like, I played that game when I was snowed in during a time when I was, a teenager. I was bad on drugs. I wasn't really fucking with video games, but I was snowed in one day. I dug out my PS2 and my copy of Metal Gear Solid 2, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And then I started exploring the I had played the original Metal Gear Solid when I was like 13 or something, but Metal Gear Solid 2, for some reason, it just blew me away. So I started getting really into the series. I started buying, importing the premium packs and stuff like that. And I was just so obsessed with the series. I remember when Metal Gear Solid 3 dropped, we had to drive 45 minutes away because the town I lived in at the time did not have a video game store and the Walmart wasn't doing a midnight release. So we drove 45 minutes to a GameStop, and one of my friends who was still on drugs and high as hell actually ripped down a bunch of Metal Gear Solid 3 promo stuff that they had and ran out of the store so I could have it. And then I sat there in my apartment and played that game, and it was just I don't know, I just feel like Kojima maybe hasn't lost his touch, but he's just kind of crazy nowadays.
You know what happened? He lost movies to plagiarize to make his games get down.
You're not wrong.
So first of all, Sean, Zone of the Ender's second runner, Mars, is actually out September 6th. I suggest you go buy it and play it. Zone of the Enders 2 is outstanding. Okay?
I know about Zone of the Enders. I had them all on the PS2 because I was a Kojima fan. So anything Kojima did, I went out and bought, and I bought Zone of the Enders.
Actually,
Zone of the Enders 2 didn't have Kojima attached to it.
Yeah.
Really?
Good news. It's actually out 2 days earlier, September 4th. PS4, by the way. So, there you go. Get on that.
Zone of the Enders 2 is amazing.
Even Evan loved that game.
I love the hell out of it. Even the PvP aspects to it, the versus mode, super fun with my friends.
So yeah, Zone of the Ender 2 is awesome. I hope they make a third one someday, but they probably won't. I think that's one of the reasons I was looking at Daemon X Machina, because it reminds me of Zone of the Enders. Maybe more like Armored Core, but it seems faster in Armored Core. So we have Discord questions, Evan, and then I guess we're just about finished up.
Yeah, we got 3 questions here.
Okay, let's see. First one's from Geek127. Do you think the reason we're not seeing a Super Mario 3D World port coming is because they are working on a direct sequel? Super Mario 3D World port.
I don't think one affects the other, would it? I don't think they're not like, oh, we work on a new game or a port. I don't think that's what Nintendo's main teams are thinking about. So no, I don't think there's any type of cross. There's no connection between.
Do you think they'd be doing something with that? I feel like Odyssey fills that 3D Mario need right now. Anyway, I mean they could, but that seemed to fit really well in that 3DS because of the 3D.
I just don't think there's any connection between like they're going to pick between a port and a new game. I think if they're going to do a new 3D Mario, the guys are working on a new 3D Mario. If they're going to do a port, it's not like, oh well, we're going to do a port instead. Like that's not how the teams work. That's just not how it is.
Okay. Next question. Neff18. Do you think ray tracing will be standard tech on the next gen of consoles, or would we probably need to wait for a mid-gen refresh? So the NVIDIA 2080, 2080 Ti, and then the 2070 were announced during a live stream that we did here on, it would have been Monday. Is it Monday or Tuesday? I don't know if anyone or any of you guys into video cards or anything.
I keep hearing people talk about that, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Okay,
ray tracing sounds awesome.
I can talk about it a bit because I did look at some. They had their benchmarks, which are some of the most just. It's very hard to tell what they're talking about on their charts. They just gave us a chart with no y-axis, but an x-axis and bars. So who knows what they're actually measuring? The three NVIDIA cards announced technically right now. One of them is, I believe, $1,200. The other one I think is 1,000, 800. Then the 2070 is 500. The problem is ray tracing is basically, they showed it off really well, but essentially it's a much more realistic way for lights, reflection, shadows, all that stuff when it interacts in space. And it looked cool. The only issue is you're specifically asking about consoles. The 2080 and the 2080 Ti are unable to reach 60 frames per second in Battlefield 5 with ray tracing on. So if a $1,200 card is unable to do that, my concern is I don't think a $400 to $500 console will be able to do that.
Well, this is kind of like the introduction of tessellation. All those cards.
Exactly. I remember that. That was with the you had the 5770, and you were like, I turned it on Metro 2033. It runs at 6 frames per second, but man, does it look good.
It looked incredible, but you could not do anything in that game.
I was like, what? And I also have to figure out, I feel like AMD does have their own ray tracing. And I'm trying to think of what it's called, but I do remember them talking about it. And I think it's in Vulkan and everything as well. They have their own type of ray tracing, but I don't think it's on the level as NVIDIA. So I don't think
they
ray
always
tracing.
get the off brands.
Yeah, the off brand. Yeah. Well, I think FreeSync is pretty good because it's cheaper, but I don't think it's going to show up in consoles. The consoles have to be $400 to $500. They're not going to put an $800 console out, and ray tracing struggles on these beast video cards. So I just don't think it's going to be in the next systems. They have to think of costs, and Sony might even be thinking of VR implementation right now rather than ray tracing in their current setup. So I don't think so. The cards are kind of cool. I'm looking at that 2070 isn't going to be able to do ray tracing well though. There's only a bit of a letdown.
I think they've probably already settled on what type of graphics they're going to be using in their next systems, and they're just kind of, so I mean, I don't think we just saw this now, that means it's going to be in there. Like, no, they've been working on probably these new systems for a while, and technology is expensive.
I will say I think they're going to conquer 4K next generation, mostly because those cards we were just talking about with ray tracing off do 4K at over 100 frames per second at this point. So I think, and that's brute forcing. That's not a game that's specifically made for that card or anything. Whereas with obviously a console it is. I think the console's next generation will finally conquer 4K. Like we'll probably see games that are native 4K at 60. Not all of them, but some of them. Some of them might just go 4K 30 or whatever. But that'll be nice. I think they're going to conquer that. So, but ray tracing is going to be a PC thing for a while because they have to figure it out before they put it on consoles. So. Even a mid-gen, I don't even think a mid-gen refresh is going to do it. Could, I guess. That'd be a weird thing to try to show off. Look at this light. It bounces better. How do you put that on a box?
The only thing that I would say that'd be like actual beneficial for gameplay would be like maybe like a stealth game or something like that.
I thought about this. You're absolutely right, because one of the big things is things that are off screen still exist in what you're looking at, whereas normally if something's off screen, it's not like it's not affecting what you're looking at, so it's not even in the world most times. It's not actually there. But with ray tracing on, it is. So if you're sneaking around, like you're saying, in a stealth game, and there is reflection and mirrors around you, maybe it's in the puddle or something, rather than them try to pre-bake that, it could just be part of the world and it just interacts. So if you can see somebody around the corner in a puddle or on the wall or a mirror or something, that would be a way that they could do it. And that would be cool. You're right. That would be neat in a stealth game.
Does it make the game more fun?
I guess immersive. That's the ray tracing is like that next thing.
I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I think there's some cool things they could do with ray tracing.
Yeah, people said that about VR, and look how that went.
Dude, some VR is pretty cool, man. Wipeout VR, dude.
I hate VR, but people like it.
I mean, some VR is cool. Like Zone of the Enders VR is neat.
I don't like that.
Exactly. It doesn't make the game
come on.
better.
Zone of the Enders is great. You gotta love that.
The problem with VR is
it's not sitting in the
too
ship's
fast.
cock.
It's too fast. It's too fast. Like it feels like you're teleporting, and in VR, that's not good. Like it's hard to tell what's going on in that game. So that's my only problem with that. But like Wipeout is perfect. Ace Combat is going to be awesome in VR. That's actually coming out in
like Resident Evil 7
January?
VR was the best VR I think I've played.
Yes, that is absolutely terrifying. Yeah, people don't like. I'm telling you, a lot of people who don't like VR have probably either never tried VR or have never tried a great experience with VR. Or maybe there's not. I don't know. I look at VR and I know some people that I've talked to, and they're like, I don't like VR, and I asked them if they try, and they're like, no, I just don't like it. But I think VR just needs a lot of work. They have a ways to go with that.
I just think it's the old, just like strapping something to your head is just not something people.
They need to get to the point where you're putting glasses on.
Yes, glasses would be. I'd be completely down. Yes. I'd be more likely to buy something if it's just glasses, but a stupid bulky headset, you look like a freaking VR trooper or something. Like you look stupid with the headset on. You look like an idiot. Let's just be real. When you play VR, you look stupid as hell. People walk in, you look dumb, and I think that's the biggest problem.
Oculus Go is done a little better. I will say that. Because you don't need to put even earbuds in. It actually has speakers in the straps, which is kind of cool. And it's a little smaller than most of the other ones that I've used. So I think they're getting there. It's taken a while, man. It's gonna be a bit. I think it's not even gonna be next generation. I think it's gonna be a generation after that we finally get there. Like 10 years. It's gonna be a while. Last question. Mixer, have any of you heard any updates on Shin Megami Tensei 5? Last that was really said about it looks like October, November last year. I assume that might be part of that second direct, Nate, that you were referring to, that you think would be in November to outline 2019, or at least a bit of a roadmap to get started with 2019. That could be there.
I could see it being at Tokyo Game Show.
Ooh, that's coming up. Yeah, that's at mid to late September.
Yeah. I could see it being at Tokyo. If it's not there, then there'll definitely be an update before the year's over.
Yeah,
Last we heard, full production started last year, so they've been in full blown production this whole year.
It seems like they're shooting for 2019 as their release year.
Yeah.
So I mean, and another thing, it's a JRPG. It can come out whenever. It could come out in the summertime. Octopath has showed that, so hard to say. But yeah, I would expect that's something Nintendo's going to put in their direct, obviously, because it's their game. So. I would look forward to that. Possibly that November direct that we're hearing about from Nate, Direct Feed Games.
November, October, sometime.
Don't let them waver. It's November.
Sometime in the next few months that we have left.
There you go. You heard it here, guys. We're looking possibly 2 directs coming up in the next 3 to 4 months. There you go. Good stuff. Very cool, exciting stuff. So yeah, I guess that's gonna do it for SpawnCast tonight. We can go around here. Nate, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at Direct Feed Games on Twitter, and then you can find my YouTube channel linked in my profile.
It's also Direct Feed Games. Everyone's YouTube accounts, except for Evan, he has his Twitter, is all in the description. So make sure to check everybody out. And you do direct feed footage of games that are coming up or out, so people can kind of just get a quick look at it to see how it looks and if it's something they're interested in, right?
Right.
Straight up. Cool. Very good. And then OJ, where can they find you, man?
It's right here on YouTube, Player Essence, or you can, and also on Twitter at Player Essence. Pretty much in terms of content coming up for the channel, looks like I might be getting trying out the Japanese copy of My Hero. It's looking like it's running pretty good on the Nintendo Switch. Had some YouTubers that I know that are doing that, so look forward to that. Got some more content coming up, and we also have I have a $50 eShop card giveaway that we're doing as well. So enter in for that too. It's a lot of fun. So if you don't know about my channel, cover a lot of Japanese RPGs, cover a lot of action games, stuff like Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy, all that stuff. So yeah, check it out.
Okay,
and I do a lot of live streams, as well.
do you have Avedon's stream? People are saying he's streaming. I met him over at Long Island. Cool dude. I figure we can raid Avedon when we finish up here.
I can do that.
Awesome. And then Sean, where can they find you, man?
Find me at the interwebs on RGT85. I'm actually going to drop a link for another raid, so you guys can raid 2 people. My friend 8-Bit Eric, he's been having some issues going on with him personally, so figured it would cheer him up to have some people hop into his stream. Yeah, we got Blade Strangers, Monster Hunter, both on Tuesday. Yeah, there's a bunch of shit coming out this week on the channel. I have no idea.
They need to give us like badges or something you can use in other people's live streams. That'd be cool. Like Twitch, they need to get on that Twitch wagon, man. They need to give us that raid technology power where you can just send everybody to someone's stream all at once. That'd be funny. Yeah, so we got okay, so Sean put 8-Bit Eric's stream
in there right now,
in the link, and then so you guys can go say hi, say the SpawnCast sent you, and then we're getting Avedon. He's a cool guy too. We met him at Long Island. Cool dude. There's Avedon there. So just go say hi, give him a like and everything, and let him know that the SpawnCast sent you guys. And then Evan, where can they find you, man?
Just the Twitter account's probably good.
Okay.
I'm going to be trying to stream after this. I'm going to get some artwork done. So, you know, art stuff, not game related. Not many people in the chat probably as interested.
Hey, they liked your one drawing, man. We did that. What was that? The Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people, you show them and they're like, oh, that's cool. Where do you do that? So yeah, check out Evan on Twitch. He's over there. And then Evan, you do have something coming up this week. You're doing Monster Hunter on Tuesday. Yep. I am doing The Messenger on Tuesday, so you're gonna have 2 videos.
Hopefully, I'm gonna be starting up on recording all the Warframe videos that I've been writing for.
Yes, so just so you guys know, if you need a head start on Warframe to understand what's going on when the Switch version comes out, because they'll probably be like dropping that randomly at some point, maybe during a direct. Evan is going to have a bunch of videos up to get you guys started, so you can kind of get on the right path for Warframe leveling and skills and all that stuff, right, Evan? So. Just kind of give you an idea of where to go, what to do, so you can kind of jump out in front of everyone. Evan's been playing it for a while, so he can
1,000 hours clocked.
There you go, 1,000 hours. He can help you guys out. But yeah, I guess that's gonna do it for tonight for SpawnCast. Thanks everyone for joining in. Make sure you check everybody out here. I will leave the links in the description down below, so you check them out. And that's gonna do it. We'll see you guys next weekend, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys then.